Okay, where were we? I am so sorry. I'm sitting here talking to the microphone and looking in the camera, and all things starts flashing and saying something's wrong, and I lost my modem, and I thought it was the router. It was actually the modem. Had to do some roll up the sleeves and fix it stuff, but I am back. Thank you for all of you who, number one, stayed through a bunch of, blank screen. And thank you for coming back as well, because it just happened. It just happened. That's one of the perils of going live. See, it's easy to do a recorded video. Anybody can do a recorded video. You record it, you edit it. If you mess up, you fix it and do different things to make it work. When you're live, you're out here without a net. Anything could happen. A dog could bark, the power could go out, a modem could blow. Anything can happen. And I just appreciate all of you, everybody in the Fanfare family, for coming back and joining me. So earlier I was saying that I'm probably going to be going to doing one show, and I'll do it for like a 3-hour or 4-hour block. This might be that block. We'll see. If not, we'll do 8 o'clock tonight. We'll come back and we'll eventually start the one show if you guys would rather have that. So I was going to cover the press conference, but obviously the press conference already happened. You probably saw it somewhere else. You probably saw some clips of it. So what I'm going to do, I've got a few clips of it, and I want to react to it. In addition to that, I had a whole other part of the show planned, but we also have Trump coming up and getting ready to sign the big executive order. This big executive order, and there may be more than one, but the big one that he's going to be signing is about boys being boys and girls being girls. Meaning, you play here and you play here, and never shall they mix. Which I'm already seeing in the media, which we'll talk about them as well, in the media about how Trump attacks the Transformers. That's what they're saying right now. Before I got unceremoniously blipped, and it wasn't YouTube. Nope, they didn't have anything to do with it. It was a blown modem. I had to go tracing back and see what happened, but it was a blown modem. But before I got blipped off, one of the things I was trying to talk to you guys about was the media, and how the media has basically committed harikari at this point. They are done. They may be still breathing those agonal breaths, as I tell you about, but at this point, the media is done. There's no way that they can, at this point, prove themselves to not have just been complete pawns of the government, because that's what they were. Let's call it what it is. They are propagandists for the Democrats. That's it. That's their entire purpose, and they're getting paid for it. Now you know how these guys are paying these exorbitant salaries for people who get, in some instances, less views than I get. Far less than Benny, far less than Dan Bongino, not even close to Tim Pool. They don't get nearly the views and engagement, and they're getting paid $5, $10, $15, $20 million, and it didn't make... I was in advertising. I understand how advertising works. It never made any sense to me. I would talk to my guys other guys who were in advertising, and I'm like, how are they making ends meet? You've got these multi-million-dollar studios with, one camera can cost upwards of $600,000-$700,000, depending on what kind of camera it is. And then you got the lighting and everything else, and you got the entire staff, the teleprompters and people running it, and editors, because the talking heads don't do anything. They just come and they just read a script that's in a box, and that's it. They don't touch anything else. They're not doing the editing. They're not even doing the writing for the most part. Just read well, smile, and deliver. That's it. So how are you paying these people this much money when you're not getting the substantialness of the views to justify what's going on? So I'm looking here on the camera. I can't see what's going on, but he's not walked out yet. And in addition to that, with the pharmaceuticals, brought to you by Pfizer. The Grammys were brought to you by Pfizer. By the way, just side note, can you believe they give Beyonce Beyonce the country album of the year. That's how you know these people are propagandists. That's how you know they've been conquered. That's the most insane thing I ever heard. Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash must be rolling over in their graves. It just makes absolutely no sense. So there's some kind of ceremony about to happen at the White House that I'm watching. Not the kind of craziness that we're used to seeing from these people. But I'm looking at the Army band on one screen. We'll see what happens. We'll take it if it's something worthwhile. But we're definitely going to take when Trump comes on. So with that being said, I want to talk about, and again, thank you very much for coming back. Thank you very much for telling others to come back. I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get into this. So you probably saw the press conference. Once you saw that press conference, there were probably a couple things that stood out to you, because they stood out to me after I watched it as well. Let's take a look at some of this stuff, because I got just a few points I want to make.
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The DOJ team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort.
All right, so real quick with what she just said, a couple of things. Obviously, we've talked about the Politico and how they're stealing all this money from the American people. And I think she just gave you a clue as to why the Democrats are freaking out. Just a one sentence she said. She goes, we're going line by line. And so some of these Democrats, they know what's on this ledger. It may not be up here where the political notification was, line 102. It may not be down here at 135 where the Reuters information was. And it may not be here with, the drag show in Burma, but probably down here somewhere. If they're going to go line by line, it's an inevitability. They're going to come across some stuff that directly impacts certain people in politics, and how this money went, and where it went, how was it paid, who was it paid to, when was it paid, how often does it get paid. Now you got these guys, the autists, and they're writing algorithms. And one of the algorithms that says, show me all the payments made to Politico and its subsidiaries and parent companies. And it's going to spit out all that information. Show me any disbursements to Adam Schiff. Show me any disbursements to, pick a name. And eventually in all those, you've seen ledgers. You probably have used Quicken. You understand, depending upon how many line items you've had in your budget, it may take a while, but they're going to find it. So the Democrats are trying to do everything they possibly can to stop the audit. They're going out there crying about the kids are going to die and things are going to happen. I have a question for you. Why are you so worried about an audit? Hey, listen, we're going to pause and we're going to make sure everything is legit before we continue. How can you be against that? How you wouldn't do it in your home? I want to know every receipt that I'm seeing here has been what I paid for. I go out to dinner with Robin, and she used to laugh and she goes, why do you always keep the receipt? Because I wait 24 and 48 hours and I reconcile what I signed for with what hits the account. It's just what I do. If you spend $50, then when I get see it hit the account, it better match $50. Everybody does. I think everybody does that. I think you all look, you charge something, whether it's debit or credit, and then you want to make sure that it aligns with what you know you spent. And then anytime you look at your account and you're like, wait a second, what, because sometimes it's a different name. I'm like, Robin, did you spend $65 at, Barney's House of Plants or something? Oh, yeah. Okay. But the Democrats don't even want you looking. When every single person does it in their own life. Why do you not want me to even look? Explain that to me. Explain it to me like I'm a 3-year-old. Well, while you're looking, what are we looking at here? Well, while you're looking, you pause funding because, Johnny over here needs it. Well, let me just tell you something. And let me tell all of you something. All of the money that was allocated in the first quarter, January, February, and March, all of the money allocated in the first quarter, from what I understand, has gone out the door. Can't pull it back. It's gone out the door. So you're telling me that little Johnny in East Africa, who needs his meds, how is he in danger? Because it's about what happens in April. I don't know if you guys knew that. The money's gone out the door. Everything's been paid for January's, February's, and March's bills, as whatever invoices that have been sent, whatever subscriptions were made, they all went out the door before Trump came in. Boom, it's gone. Okay, it's gone. Hold up and pause, make sure nothing goes out in April. So why are you crying now? Nobody, none of these people in the media, none of them are talking about that. Every temper tantrum you're seeing from every nut job on the left makes absolutely no sense because the money's already been spent. Not just allocated, but spent. The first quarter it's gone. It's February 5th. We're already into the first quarter. So that money has already been out there. And if it's not been out there, whatever's still in the coffers, we're going to pause that. But in any event, little Johnny in East Africa or East Uganda or wherever has had every dime and every thing of medicine up until this point. Those of you who take medicines and whatever your prescriptions are, your prescriptions that you bought in January, you filled it, and then you're probably ready to fill it again in 30 days. What are you guys complaining about? Wait, it's not about Johnny's prescription, and I know I don't need to pay for the drag show in Burma. You might want to have to cancel that. We're not interested in funding that kind of stuff. Just looking at something here. Looking at Pete Hegseth may be meeting Netanyahu very shortly. Tell me why you're concerned with that. And I don't want to harp on it, but I just want you to understand what the media isn't telling you. When they're telling you people are going to die. What? Just for a pause? These guys are going pretty fast. They're going through different things. Why do you not want them to even look? Let's continue.
Submissions from individuals across the country interested in participating in our new media seat at a future briefing continue to flood in. We are at more than 12,000 and counting. If you're watching right now and are interested, you can continue to apply on our new media website, whitehouse.gov/new media. And in the seat today, we have a longtime national television broadcaster. I'm sure many of you recognized her when she came in, Sage Steele, who is now the host of an incredibly successful podcast, The Sage Steele Show, on YouTube and all podcast platforms.
I love me some Sage Steele. I liked her when she was at ESPN. But her incredibly successful podcast, Caroline, is still way down there. If you look in the rankings, it ain't even, come on, make the call. I'm waiting. You need to make the call. I'm buying shirts, I'll put on a tie, but the incredibly successful podcast, Yeah, it ain't all that successful, just saying. Yeah, she's got some cred. She's been on television. She was with ESPN. But if the criteria is successful podcast, there's a whole bunch of us that come before that. But I'm still proud of her. I'm still give her some props. I'm just comparing apples to apples. Maybe it's a little jealousy.
And previously, Sage was a fixture at ESPN from 2007 to 2023, primarily hosting SportsCenter, which we all know well, before leaving the company to exercise her First Amendment rights more freely. We are honored to welcome her to the briefing room today. She will be joining the president at the big EO signing later this afternoon. I know many of you will be there as well. So, Sage, why don't you kick us off on this very exciting day for women and girls across the country. Thank you for joining us.
It is exciting, and Caroline, thank you for welcoming people like me with a little bit of a different perspective, different background in this seat. It really does mean a lot. Thank you. Obviously, the House already passed the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act, which was a really big step for women and girls. So far, the Senate, as we know, has not brought it up to vote. We all know executive orders can be overturned, so I'm wondering how important it is to the president to get Congress to bring this, to pass legislation. So there are no instances like the past administration that really tried to destroy Title IX.
It's incredibly important that Congress immediately acts on this priority. I think the president is really setting the tone, making this a very immediate priority for this administration, just as he promised to do on the campaign trail. And I'd like to get into the executive order a little bit, because it is the news of the day here at the White House, and talk about what this executive action will actually do. So the executive order that the president will be signing later this afternoon, as I said, upholds the promise of Title IX. It also will require the DOJ to abide by the nationwide previous administration's illegal Title IX rewrite that would have dissolved single-sex spaces and opportunities. It also requires immediate action, including enforcement actions against schools and athletic associations comprised of schools that deny women single-sex sports in single-sex locker rooms. The executive order also calls for the convening of private sporting bodies in the White House. We want them to come to this campus so the president can hear in person the stories of female athletes who have suffered lifelong injuries, who have been silenced and forced to shower with men and compete with men on athletic fields across the country. Many of those women will be at the White House.
All right, so I'm going to cut to this for a second. You're seeing Pete Hegseth. This motorcade is coming to the Department of Defense. Pete Hegseth is going to be meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu. I would not sure if it's probably that limo right there, or maybe the one behind it. But pretty big news that Benjamin Netanyahu is heading to the Department of Defense to meet with Pete Hegseth. There's Pete right there waiting for Bibi to exit the motorcade. Interesting that he's talking to Pete Hegseth, the Department of Defense. So they might have some interesting conversation regarding what Trump said yesterday, and it's got everybody going crazy about what's going on in Gaza. And so this meeting could have some good repercussions across the Middle East at this point. There's not going to be a statement or anything. It's just them walking in together. Let me just see when they get out the car here. You guys can watch. Let's go ahead and go to the full screen.
Not rule out the possibility that U.S. troops could have a role there, and obviously that will be part of the discussion with Secretary Hegseth and President of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, who have known each other for some time. Let me bring in Adam Bowler, who is the nominee to be special presidential envoy for hostage affairs. He's also the former negotiator for the Abraham Accords when Israel made peace with 4 Arab states. Adam, welcome. I know we had a little trouble with your shot, so I'm happy that you're on the...
All right, so that's Pete Hegseth, obviously, and Benjamin Netanyahu getting ready to go in and have a meeting. What they will be discussing, I don't know, but I pretty much think it's got something to do with what Trump said yesterday, in addition to obviously getting more of the hostages back and everything. So I don't expect them to take or make any statements. I think they're listening to, because I saw the military band, they're talking over it, and I'm sure they're playing the national anthem. Let's see.
President to do is come up with ideas, because I'll tell you for damn sure the current is.
I can't believe they're talking over it.
So you were involved in the orchestration of the Abraham Accords. There was a moment when it looked very close that Saudi Arabia would be the fifth nation and obviously the largest, most important player.
U.S. troops out of Syria.
All right, so as you heard there, somebody was screaming about pulling the troops out of Syria.
All right, so what a time there, huh? Oh yeah,
that's what they got. So listen back to what Caroline Leavitt and Steele, and they're talking about Title IX. As a grandfather of two young little girls, I'm completely with this executive order. I do not think we should have guys and girls playing together. Maybe in dodgeball, if you're out in the yard, but not in competitive athletic sports. It's just not right as far as I'm concerned. Maybe you have a different feeling about it, but let's continue.
Today, I encourage all of you in the media to actually talk to them, to hear their stories. And I would also just add one more thing. This is a wildly popular position with the American people. In fact, there was a new poll recently that showed the overwhelming majority of Democrats also support keeping biological men out of women's sports. And so I know the president is very excited about the bill signing that will take place at 3 o'clock this afternoon. You will hear from him more on that later, and we look forward to seeing you there, Sage. So thank you.
On Gaza, the president has spent basically his entire public career criticizing foreign entanglements, nation building, sending American troops to fight abroad, particularly in the Middle East. This plan seems like it could ultimately involve all of those things. Can you explain this reversal and how building and owning Gaza squares with America First foreign policy?
I would reject.
Now, before she answers that question, let me tell you what I think about it. If you think back, days just run into each other. You think back, was it 2 days ago when he did the executive order and he talked about creating the Sovereign Wealth Fund? Remember that? It was just 24 or 48 hours he talked about creating the Sovereign Wealth Fund. And he had Scott Bessent, the new Treasury Secretary, and he had Howard Lutnick there, the new Secretary of Commerce. And he was talking about this fund. And he was talking about, how we could be a country that generates revenue. And by generating revenue, at this point, it would help the country fund stuff. And possibly, I had mentioned at that point, it could help take off a tax burden. These people in the press have no idea about business. It goes right over their heads. And I've heard people scream all morning long about putting condos in Gaza and how, oh my God, what are you going to do with the people? And they just don't get it. And so this guy just asked a question, which I'm sure she can't really give the answer. But you as someone listening, I want you to read between the lines. What you heard a day or so ago with Donald Trump saying, I want to create a sovereign wealth fund. So maybe we're going to buy TikTok and we're going to do this and that and we're going to generate income. It's $1 trillion business and we're going to make money. You see, right now the government doesn't make or generate any money. It just spends it and takes it from you. That's the only way, that's the only source of money, unless they do tariffs or things of that nature. There's no way for the government to actually make any money. Trump, on the other hand, and he's talking to Scott Bessent, and he's got Howard Lutnick, and he's like, yeah, we're going to create this fund. And if you go back and listen to the answer that he gave about it, and then he turned to Scott, he said, Scott, you want to add some words? Do you remember what Scott said? Let me refresh it for you. Scott Bessent said, well, what we're going to do, Mr. President, we're going to use our assets and assets of our partners to create, revenue generating opportunities. Assets that we have and assets of our partners. Hey, there's this big swath of land that's just dirt. I mean, they've gone through war, and it's right there by the ocean, but it's just dirt. So what if we went over there somehow with a partnership, and we started rebuilding and came out with something and became a mega Gaza, mega Gaza land or something? And these reporters were like, well, it's not America first. No, yeah, it is, you idiot. It's 100% America first. If he's able to cut a deal with Jordan and some of these countries over there and say, you take 600 Palestinians and you take a bunch of them, and now they rebuild, because it has to be rebuilt anyway. Our aid is going to have to rebuild it. Why not rebuild it into something people may want to travel in? It's leveled. There's nothing there but rubble. All right, so you go in, you bulldoze the entire damn thing, and you dig out and get rid of the tunnels, and now you've just got dirt. All right, well, now we build it up like the Saudis did. And this thing is making, billions of dollars per year. That's 100% America first. If we are partners in that, and our partnership doesn't cost any money, our partnership is, hey, maybe we're there to secure it. Maybe we're there to provide infrastructure. Who knows? But we want 50% of the revenue. We want 50% of the rent and the property and everything else, so that we can help the people back in America. See, people here, especially in the media, they're so used to paying over there. That's not us. We're just going to give it. What about money coming back? Having been in real estate, I look at this and say, this makes some sense. If we go ahead and build some apartment complexes and some things here and some things there, this might just work to bring money back.
The premise of your question that this forces the United States to be entangled in conflicts abroad. The president has not committed to putting boots on the ground in Gaza. He has also said that the United States is not going to pay for the rebuilding of Gaza. His administration is going to work with our partners in the region.
Did I just say that? We're not going to pay for it. It's all profit. We're just going to bring it. I see some people in the comments, like, no, it's stay away from it. Oh my God, don't do anything with it. Blah, 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 blah. Nah, man, you're not thinking like him. You're not thinking big. You're thinking small. You're thinking like, years past. We have the opportunity to do something great in that area. Great. He keeps saying great. Let's do things greatly. Let your mind open up. So the Palestinians don't want to leave. Well, I could understand the Palestinians not wanting to leave. Good luck with the rubble. You don't want to leave? Stay. When people say that, well, the Palestinians, they want their homeland, and they don't want. There is no homeland. Have you seen pictures of Gaza? I mean, seriously, have you seen pictures of it? There is nothing there. There's no electricity. There's no running water. There is no homeland. It's rubble. I was taught in businesses, if you can provide something that people need, they're willing to pay you for it. How much do you think people are willing to pay for something they don't have, like electricity and water? Ask the people up in North Carolina who got no help from Biden. And so Trump is saying, as she just said, through our partners. I don't know about y'all. When I hear the word partnership, it means I'm getting something. I'm not a benefactor. I'm a partner. I'm getting a piece of this.
To reconstruct this region. And let me just take a step back here, because this is an out-of-the-box idea. That's who President Trump is. That's why the American people elected him. And his goal is lasting peace in the Middle East for all people in the region. And as I said in my opening remarks, we've had the same people pushing the same solutions to this problem for decades.
In addition to the same people pushing the same solutions that don't work for the same problems for decades, I can see in the chat people are saying the same thing about that whole area. Well, I don't want to, I don't want to go in there. It's just a mess. It's about, Okay, so how do you fix it? I mean, if you're a humanitarian and you're like, we need to help these people, how do you fix it? You just want us to give the money so that it can happen all over again. It will not change. I've read the Bible. It's pretty much, ironclad. It's going to keep fighting. If we leave it as is or spend a whole bunch of money to try and fix it up, it's just going to keep happening. My father I think I've told you this story. My father got into construction, and he would renovate HUD homes and projects. He would get government contracts. And I'm like, I would go work for him in the summer. I'm like, weren't we here last year? Yep. What are we doing here now? The same places every year or two. You had to go back and clean up the same thing. You had to repaint. You had to do everything all over again because they just messed it up. They had no idea on how to understand this is something you need to take care of. I walked in one apartment, and the people there literally had a phone book on the wall. And I'm looking at, because back then, phones were on the wall. These people would just take markers and pens and just write phone numbers, just right on the wall. And I'm like, dude, that's a wall. Yeah, and we got to go in and, I got to hire the paint crew, have the paint crew go in, or they'll steal the pipes and sell them. What do you think's going to happen in Gaza if Gaza stays as Gaza? The same shit's going to keep happening. Don't we want it to be different? Don't we want to see lasting peace and prosperity in these places? Or do we just want to keep doling out money every single year to some fund to drop rice in throughout the air? I don't know. Maybe it's me, and I'm I desire to work for prosperity. And I've told you this story. I stopped doing the Miami Dolphins broadcast because as a business person, I stepped back and went, there's not enough of a market here. I mean, a lot of people like the Dolphins, but there's not enough of a market. Number two, what do? Because these guys suck. You're basically dark for 3 or 4 months. It wasn't viable. So Trump, being a business person, which you guys have to put that in perspective, is saying, it doesn't make any sense. Everybody has been pouring money into this poop hole for decades, and guess what it is today? A poop hole. So unless you just want to keep going with that, your mindset and other people's mindsets have to change and say, why don't we do something with this? Just saying.
It's been made very clear to the president that the United States needs to be involved in this rebuilding effort to ensure stability in the region for all people. But that does not mean boots on the ground in Gaza. It does not mean American taxpayers will be funding this effort. It means Donald Trump, who is the best deal maker on the planet, is going to strike a deal with our partners in the region. And I would just...
What'd she just say? It looks like, where are we? Wow, he's got a big, okay, so what we got going on here is a big table of looks like he's going to have a whole bunch of girls in there as he signs the order, but it's not ready yet to go into a commercial. So I'm looking at your comments. No, this isn't a replay. This is me. It's live. It's 3:24 p.m. So it's why my landlords always love me as a renter. I respected their property, often fixed it up too. I would give people, when I was a landlord, what I would tell my renters is, say your rent was $2,000 a month. I'm going to give you 2 discounts. If you pay on the first, you can take $500 off your rent. You only owe $1,500. That's your incentive for paying on time. I'm going to train you. I'm going to train you on how to be a good tenant, but I'm going to give you a benefit. The rent's $2,000, but if you pay on the first, it's only $1,500. On the same token, if there's a repair and it's under $200 or $300, just submit the receipt and you can take that off the rent. So I understand exactly what you're talking, Bella. A good tenant understands it's a win-win for both parties. I didn't got to come over there and plunge out the toilet, and you don't have to like worry, oh man, I'm $2,000 this month's going to be tight. What can I do? Pay on the first, get $500 off. I remember people I were working with said, how come you never have a problem with tenants? Because I treat them as business partners. Every time I rented to somebody, I treated them as a business partner, not as a tenant. And so they got benefits. Friends with benefits. Good statement by Aya. We don't know how to win. That's the That's it. That's it. You just described it. That's it. People have the mentality, oh, we can't go to Gaza. Oh my God, what are we going to do? It's over there. It's been a war forever. So you're admitting that it can never, ever, ever, ever get better. If that's the case, then we don't need to talk to Bibi. We don't need to talk to the guys from Jordan. Just say good luck. Good luck with your dirt. We didn't. Sorry. But I know you don't mean that. What I know what you mean is, how do we do this so it's good for everybody? I mean, I look at some of these people in that area who lived in that area. I remember watching the videos of them running, being refugees and getting out. And everyone keeps saying 1 million or 2 million people are going to be displaced. I'd love for somebody to show me 2 million people still living there. Because I think that's a farce. I think that's made up by Democrats and people who are trying to tug on heartstrings. There can't be 2 million people still living in there. It's just not possible. They leveled everything. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, Gaza. I see new hotels and tourist industry. Yeah, the area is beautiful. It's what they did with it. Barry, you definitely see great long term for both partners. Yeah. Some people hate me for that. I mean, seriously, you're a vulture. I'm like, no, man, I'm a capitalist. I look at this and go, that, and just like with Trump's looking at it going, wow, so it's right there on the water. Yeah, might be able to do something here. So Trump's getting ready to sign, so we'll cut to this, and it's a room full of little kids. Let's see if they're just doing a preview, but no, it says soon. But I can show you what it looks like. There's all the little kids getting ready, little kids, big girls, everybody getting ready to come in for the signing to protect young women. How could you look at those kids and think to yourself, I want a guy walking through the locker room. I want them to compete against somebody like my size. At 13 years old, I'm going to scare some of you guys who are parents right now. I'm really going to scare you. At 13, in the 7th grade or 8th grade, whichever one it was, I was 5'11" and 240 pounds. 5'11", 240 pounds at 13. So that's Little League. And I know some little girls play in Little League right now, but in Little League football, I couldn't play Little League football. They wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me play against other boys. Not just, never mind girls. I showed up and like, no, you ain't coming. No, nah, you're over the limit. Sorry, you have to wait till you get to high school. But I want to play. I play with my friends on the weekend. You can't come in this league. Midget football is for midgets. Oh, boy. Let's listen into Pete Hegseth, who's talking right now in a meeting with Netanyahu. Might have something good to say here. We want to hear.
Threat that Israeli citizens have been under. And it always struck me the sense of purpose that permeates the state of Israel. Living under an existential threat. And I've always had a great deal of respect for the response that country has had. And now destroying Hamas's capabilities in Gaza, Hezbollah's capabilities in the north, damaging the Houthi infrastructure in Yemen, and things that are of great importance to America. Those are all of great importance to us. But in September of 2024, killing the man responsible for the 1983 bombing of the Marine Corps compound in Beirut, killing 241 Americans. You have a long memory. We have a long memory. And may our relationship continue to endure. We're going to continue to grow our defense industrial base. We've supplied munitions that were previously not supplied that are useful in eradicating radical enemies, and we are committed to continuing to do so. So I hope you've noticed here at the Defense Department under President Trump, we are laser focused on reviving the warrior ethos, on rebuilding America's military, and reestablishing deterrence, which is something you, Prime Minister, have done in your neighborhood in impressive, aggressive, and important ways. So it's an honor to welcome you to the Pentagon on behalf of the Department of Defense. Thank you for spending the afternoon with us, sir.
Well, thank you, Mr. Secretary Pete. You've been a great and stalwart friend of Israel. And we see President Trump and the team that he's put together as extraordinary friends, extraordinary patriots of America, and therefore also champions of the American-Israel alliance. I truly believe Israel obviously has no greater friend than the United States, and I think the United States has no better friend than Israel. It's an ally that perhaps is different from many of your allies because we have no compunction about fighting our enemies by ourselves. We're willing to shoulder the burden of our defense, but by confronting the forces of radicalism and terror and the forces that are anti-American at their core. They call you the great Satan, and they call us the small Satan. We just stand in their way, but you are their great enemy. By confronting these various enemies, we're not only defeating those who wish to attack us, but those who wish to attack you as well. And therefore, our victory is your victory. And we're well ahead and well advanced in the pursuit of our war goals that will give security and peace. And that's the only way you get it in our region and perhaps in many other regions. The only way you get peace and an enduring peace is by being very, very strong. And with our alliance, with your support, including the decision you just mentioned of supplying Israel the much-needed tools for our defense, we are a lot stronger than we've ever been. I thank you for this warm reception. It's good to see you again, and I look forward to our discussions away from the camera.
Good to see you, sir. Welcome to the Pentagon. And we look forward to the discussions as
Are you
well.
working on American involvement in Gaza, considering your view and worldview?
I would just say to the question of Gaza, the definition of insanity is attempting to do the same thing over and over and over again. And as the President and Prime Minister pointed out last night, the President is willing to think outside the box, look for new and unique dynamic ways to solve problems that have felt like they're intractable. So we look forward to more conversations about that, creative solutions to that. And as the man tasked with leading the Defense Department here, we're prepared to look at all options as we've said before.
Do you have a plan to send troops to Gaza, Mr. Secretary? Are you working on a plan to send troops to Gaza? Are you working on options for the president right now that would involve U.S. troops in Gaza?
The president is involved in very complex and high-level negotiations of great consequence to both the United States and the state of Israel, and we look forward to working with our allies, our counterparts, both diplomatically and militarily, to look at all options. But we certainly would not get ahead of the president or provide any details about what we may or may not do. That's just bad military. That's all we have.
Thank you, Press.
Oh, if you're for Donald Trump and you're a Donald Trump supporter, you need to start thinking like he thinks. Because otherwise you're in for a world of hurt. It's only been a couple weeks and you're seeing it. You can hear what he just said. All options. We got some ideas. And I'm looking in the chat here and I'm seeing people go, oh, what about the bodies that are buried there? I'm pretty sure somewhere where you live, a long time ago when it was dirt, there was probably some bodies there. I think a lot of the problem is people don't know what Gaza looks like right now. They're not going to build on bodies. In order to build in Gaza, number one, you got to get rid of all the rubble. You got to go in and level it. Then, because of all the tunnels that they built there, they're going to have to go ahead and dig down. And they're going to excavate. And then they're going to refill. I've done this. Funny, nobody really cared about rebuilding 9/11. The World Trade Center. A lot of bodies were there. Yeah, some of them jumped out windows, but they rebuilt it. You can't be like that. It's not a ceremonial grave. It's land where a war took place. You think Vietnam didn't build and rebuild over where battles took place? I don't know. How about Germany? Oh, how about France? How about England? Did you just say, hey, some soldiers died here, we can never build here again? What? What are you missing? What are you missing? You could go all throughout Europe and think back to where Adolf was storming through and blowing up buildings and all kinds of stuff. You can go watch, Saving Private Ryan. There's people who died all throughout Germany, France, and England. You think they just went, man, some dead people died over here. We can never build here again. Nope, they built. Trump is a developer. He's a New York developer. He understands by looking at property and going, this could be good for America. See, I know he's thinking that first. Caroline Leavitt said, you're not going to see us spend any of our money. We're not going to spend money. This is going to be inflow. So maybe this is one of those things where people who voted for Trump and supported for Trump don't understand Trump beyond the fact of, what they've seen on stump speeches, not knowing the entire dynamic. Need to go read the book. Need to read a couple of those books and see where he came from. So, will it work? I have no idea. But like Pete Hegseth just said, doing nothing means you just get the same. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So when you say you can't do it, I'd prefer you say, what do you think should happen? Just asking. Nobody's talking about troops. Nobody's talking about spending money. We're talking about, hey, listen, could we develop this property for the benefit of everybody in the region and then, have some peace and prosperity? Two of those things go hand in hand. It's kind of hard to have one without the other. It's crazy. Yeah, it's starting to already. It's like starting a business in an already built mall. Yeah, it's crazy. You just got to think. What did Pete just say? Think outside the box. Everything you've seen in the last, 14, 15 days is way out the box. Because that box, we found out, is dirty. It's got vipers. It stinks. Everybody is pooped in this box. And so now you don't want to look there because that's how it was always done. Hey, we're just stealing people's money and we just need to raise taxes because we do all that crap. And you got somebody coming in as, we're not doing this anymore. This isn't going to work for me. This isn't going to work for the American people. Just saying. Just saying. And it doesn't... Everything Trump is doing is trying to provide you with a different mindset. Everything. Barry, what do you mean? Well, I know because I've talked to many of you for quite some time now, and I thank you for coming in and watching. And I know sometimes when I talk, people are like, ugh, I don't want him to go there. I don't want... Okay, so let's go there for a second, shall we, before he comes out. AI. Different, outside the box. Nobody's done it. Trump's like, I want to be the leader in AI. And people are like, oh, AI, oh my God, I want to. Why? Why was your first response no? Trump comes out and says, hey, I want to be the leader in crypto. I'm going to have a crypto czar. We're going to build billions in crypto. I don't have to, oh my God, crypto. Hey, how about we build up Gaza and make it like the Gaza land? I don't have to do that. You're in for a lot of that. I'm just telling you, you got a long 4 years if every time he says something that you're uncomfortable with, you don't like it. All right, let's go here.
Under the Trump administration, we will defend the proud tradition of female athletes, and we will not allow men to beat up, injure, and cheat our women and our girls. From now on, women's sports will be only for women. But before going further, I want to share some very exciting news from our military. After years of shrinking force numbers at levels that nobody has ever seen before, 4 years of this we went through, and missed recruiting targets every single month. It was just announced that in December, the U.S. Army had its single best recruitment in more than 15 years. Thanks. Every single day, nearly 350 new soldiers enlisted to defend our nation, and they're very, very happy to have done so. We've done lots of interviews, and we asked why this was taking place now, and they just said there's a spirit about our country that they haven't seen in many, many years, and I happen to agree with that. But it really is clear proof that the spirit is sweeping our armed forces, and we have a great leader in Pete. As you know, we all know Pete so well. He's going to be fantastic, and so many of our great heroes, and people are starting to understand what hero is all about. So that is something that is very important. We've gotten the woke lunacy out of our military. And now we're very importantly getting it out of women's sports. That's taking place very strongly. So in recent years, the radical left has waged an all-out campaign to erase the very concept of biological sex and replace it with a militant transgender ideology. You heard a little bit about this, haven't you? Huh? Just a little bit? Does anybody agree with them? No. It would be not a good thing to say yes right here. Female athletes have been forced onto the front lines, and men claiming to be girls have stolen more than 3,500 victories, that's a lot, and invaded more than 11,000 competitions designed for women. Last year, a male cyclist posing as a woman competed in the 800-mile Arizona Trail Race, a very big deal in cycling, and obliterated the women's course record by nearly 5.5 hours. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it, huh? 5.5 hours, so, but you have to hear the weightlifting records. You think that's bad. The weightlifting's worse. In 2023, a man in women's powerlifting broke 2 world records and outlifted his closest female opponent in one event by 440 pounds. And they continue to defend themselves. Mr. Congressman, you know that, right? They continue to defend themselves. We hope they continue onward because I don't think we can lose a race. This was one of the big reasons that we all won, and it's one of the big reasons that we had a record, a landslide like they haven't seen before, very often anyway. And who could forget last year's Paris Olympics where a male boxer stole the women's gold medal after brutalizing his female opponent so viciously that she had to forfeit just after 46 seconds, and she was a championship fighter. And actually, they had 2 women or 2 people that transitioned, and both of them won gold medals, and they won them very convincingly. But all of that ends today because with this executive order, the war on women's sports is over. Thank you, everybody. Right. Should have been done long ago, actually. Thank you. Thank you very much. With my action this afternoon, we're putting every school receiving taxpayer dollars on notice that if you let men take over women's sports teams or invade your locker rooms, you will be investigated for violations of Title IX and risk your federal funding. There will be no federal funding. So this will effectively end the attack on female athletes at public K-12 schools and virtually all U.S. colleges and universities. I don't think we've missed anything, but if we do, we'll make it up very quickly with an order, and I don't think we will at all. I want to, before we go on, I want to thank so many people that have worked so hard in the political establishment, and they're before me largely, and I think I'm going to miss a few. It always happens when you do this, but it's just one of those things. But we have many senators here, many governors here, many state attorneys generals here. They're all over the place, actually. I see. Some of them went after me, but they failed. And they're really friends, and they're friends of women's sports, that I can tell you. So Senator Marsha Blackburn, where's Marsha? Hi. Senator Katie Britt. Thank you, Katie. Mike Lee, where's Mike? Mike. I love his new haircut. I love that haircut, Mike. He just said the hell with it, right? I think you look great. Senator Cynthia Loomis. Cynthia, where are you? Cynthia, hi, Cynthia. Doing a good job. And Roger Marshall. Thank you, Roger. Great. Mark Wayne Mullen, Oklahoma. I love Oklahoma. I don't know what it is, Oklahoma. I won 77 out of 77 counties. It's never been done. Second was Ronald Reagan, 56, right? Yeah. And Tommy Tuberville, a great coach. You know, his quarterback was named Mahomes. He was a great college coach. And I said, how good was he? He said, you don't want to know how good. He made me into a great coach. He's pretty good quarterback, right? Yeah, he was very good. He's a good guy, too. Also, governors, we have Governor Glenn Youngkin, Virginia. Thank you, Glenn. Good job. Bill Lee of Tennessee. Bill, thank you. Jeff Landry, Louisiana. Thank you, Jeff. Kim Reynolds of Iowa. Thank you. We're trying to move, education back to the states. You do know that. We're making a big move, and we're counting on Linda McMahon. Linda McMahon. And sitting next to you is the new star is born. Caroline, congratulations. You've done great. New star. Star is born. Patrick Morrissey. Patrick, congratulations. Great race. A great friend of mine, and he's really helped us at the border, done a great job, of Texas, Greg Abbott. Thank you, Greg. Jim Pillen, where are you? Jim, very good. Very good. Are you feeling good? He had a bad fall. You doing all right, huh? Good. You look great. Brad Little. Brad, thank you, Brad. Good job. Good job. Do you like education going back to your state? You'll make it top, right? Just so people understand, in the education world, we're ranked very, very poorly. We're 38, 39, and 40 out of 40 countries. We're at the bottom of the pack almost always, or very close to it. That just came out. We're 40 out of 40. And if we move it back to the states, I will guarantee you that If you take Idaho, you take Iowa, you take almost any of the states that I'm looking at right now, they'll be as good as Norway. You have Sweden, you have Denmark. I must say you have China that's very high in the pack, which is no longer, we can say it has to be a small area. China is very big, but they do a very good job. But we'll have at least 35 of our states that will be as good or better than any of those countries, and we have to get it done. Attorney General Steve Marshall. Steve, thank you very much. Steve, wherever you may be. General Tim Griffin. Thank you. Thank you. A person who is so wonderful. Brenna Bird, where are you? Brenna Bird. Thank you. She supported me before people wanted to support me, right, Brenna? Wow. Thank you very much. I appreciated it. Andrew Bailey, great job. Where's Andrew? Great. Stand up, Andrew. One of the great attorney generals. Thank you very much. One of the greats, really. And Jason Miyares. Thanks, Jason. And now we get back to our members of Congress, and we'll go quickly, but it's a great group of people. Steve Scalise is right in front here. What a brave guy Steve is. Steve went through a lot, and he proved one thing to me, only one thing, that his wife loved him. His wife loves him because I went to the hospital that night, and he was not given even a shot, right, Mike? And I was with him, and I was with his wife, and she was devastated. She was really devastated. And I've been to, similar situations, not quite as bad, but the wives were not so devastated. And I can tell you that great wife of yours loves you. So anyway, and what you've done is incredible. The way you've come back, it's you look better now than you did before it happened. But nobody wants to go through that. Yeah, it's amazing. Tom Emmer doing a fantastic job. Thank you, Tom. Great job. Lisa McLean. Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Hi. Good job. Virginia Fox. Hi, Virginia. Tim Wahlberg, Michigan. Tim, great. Jason Smith, great man on taxes. Great man on how are the taxes doing? Okay. We're going to get good things passed, I hope, right? Juan Ciscomaris, Arizona. Where are you, Juan? Hello, Juan. Stand up, Juan. You look so good. You always look good. Kevin Kiley. Kevin, wherever you may be. What happened? How come he had no applause? Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert. Very much a leader in this. Thank you, Lauren. Kat Kamek, Florida. Thank you, Kat. Byron Donalds. He's doing good. Byron's doing good. Where is he? You're doing good, Byron. Laurel Lee. Thank you, Laurel. Thank you. Great job. Anna Paulina Luna. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Greg Stubbe hit a home run wearing a Trump cap. The only one to hit a home run out of the park during your crazy baseball game, right? I think I will come. I think I'll come. If you're playing, I'll come. Somebody that's very shy. This is a very shy person, and but she's trying to break out of it. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Victoria Spartz. Thank you, Victoria. Great job. Ashley Hinson. Ashley, thank you. Marionette Miller Meeks. Good job you did. Good job. Great job. Mary Miller. Hi, Mary. Julia Letlow. Hi, Julia. Claudia Tenney from New York. Claudia. Hi, Claudia. Hi. Great job. Nicole Maliatakis. Hi, Nicole. Good. Doing good. I saw a great poll with you, Nicole. Michelle Fishbach. Thank you. Great job. Ann Wagner, Missouri. Thanks. Sherry Biggs, South Carolina. Thanks, Sherry. Great job. Nancy Mace. Where's Nancy? Here's something. Oh, are you a believer in what we're doing, Nancy? Nancy takes it on right from the start, right? Would you like to say something? Would you like to say we're doing the right thing? Good. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nancy. Stephanie Bice, Oklahoma. Thanks, Stephanie. Diana Harshbarger. Thanks, Diana. Good job. Tim Burchett. Tim, I watched you on television the other day. You were unbelievable. You ripped that guy apart. Man, that poor guy, he started getting a little fresh with Tim, and Tim just ripped him apart. That was beautiful. I actually left a message. That's good. Great job, Tim. That was great. Monica De La Cruz. Monica. Great. Ronnie Jackson. Ronnie. Dr. Ronnie. He's a doctor, a great admiral, and a great congressman, right? Pretty good. He has his choice. What do you like doing best, Ronnie? Who is the healthiest patient you ever had? You know why I liked him? The fake news asked, so doctor, he had Obama, Bush, and Trump in the White House. He was the White House doctor. And they asked him, who's the healthiest of the three? He said, it's not close. It's Donald Trump. And from that moment, I love this guy. Right? Thank you, Ronnie. Wesley Hunt from Texas. Hi, Wesley. Beth Van Dyne. Beth from Texas. Thanks, Beth. Burgess Owens, a great athlete, an NFL star. Ken Kiggins from Virginia. Thank you. Thank you, honey. Thank you very much, Jen. I appreciate it. Harriet Hageman, what a lawyer. Ooh. One of the best, one of the most talented lawyers you'll ever see. What she did to her opponent was horrible. Let's see, who was her opponent? Let's see. Oh, does anybody remember her opponent? We tend to forget. We forgot that one, huh? And, you know, your speaker, I'm going to introduce him later anyway, but your speaker has been fantastic. Stand up, Mike. He's great. What a good man. A really good man. Also, some friends of ours, Sage Steele, has been very strong on the issue. Sage, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Great job. Tiffany Justice, Tina Deskovich, founders of Moms for Liberty. And they honored me, and it was a great honor. And thank you very much, both of you. Thank you. Heather Higgins, Andy Butner, Victoria Coley from Independent Women's Forum. It's a fantastic group of people that fought very hard on this issue. I think everybody in this room really fought very hard on this issue. Kim Fletcher, you know Kim? Debbie, I think Debbie's here. Crew Lidis from also Moms of America. And Penny Lance, of course, CEO of the Concerned Women for America. That is a lot of people. Thank you very much, Penny. Good job you do. That's a lot of people. Can I give here, why don't you hold that? You sell it tonight. So just to finish up, I'm directing the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, who, by the way, is doing a fantastic job. In fact, he just left Panama. We're trying to take back the Panama Canal, little things like that. It'll all happen. But Marco is going to make clear to the International Olympic Committees there, and he's going to make it as clear as anybody can make it, that America categorically rejects transgender lunacy. We want them to change everything having to do with the Olympics and having to do with this absolutely ridiculous subject that we even have to talk about this subject. If you went back 10 years or 15 years and you would move forward and listen to this, you'd say, what the hell are they talking about? This is impossible. But you have people out there, Democrats, that are still totally in favor. They can't win the argument. They can't win a debate. They look like fools, and they continue to go on. And it's okay, because as long as they do this and open borders and all of the other things they talk about, transgender everything, all they want to do is transgender and men playing in women's sports and all of these crazy things. And if they continue, I think we're going to end up ultimately, it's not going to matter because we're never going to go along with them, and we're just going to keep winning elections, right, Mike? So when the Olympics comes to Los Angeles, I was responsible for getting the Olympics, and I said, oh boy, this is terrible because I got the Olympics and I won't be president. And then what happened is that an election, strange things happened in an election. So I missed 4 years, and now I have the Olympics. It was sort of circuitous. It was a circuitous situation. And we also have the World Cup coming, which is going to be fantastic. And we have, as you know, very importantly, 250 years coming. That's a big one next year. So that's a very big one. But in Los Angeles in 2028, my administration will not stand by and watch men beat and batter female athletes, and we're just not going to let it happen, and it's going to end, and it's ending right now, and nobody's going to be able to do a damn thing about it, because when I speak, we speak with authority. And for the same reason, just to make sure, I'm also directing our Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, who's also she's out there with you, Greg, a fantastic job. She's unbelievable. I was watching her riding yesterday on a horse. She was as good as anybody. She's very good. To deny any and all visa applications made by men attempting to fraudulently enter the United States while identifying themselves as women athletes, try and get into the games, maybe where they are unable to get into the games. We're honored to be joined today by many incredible advocates for women's sports, including the brave swimmer at the forefront of this battle. And Riley Gaines is a person that I've been watching. She fought hard. Riley was a 12-time All-American. Well, that's pretty good. 12-time All-American who sacrificed countless hours in the pool just for a chance at the title. It's so important to her. She gave up everything and just gave everything she had. But then the league forced her to share a spot on the podium with a male swimmer who took her trophy while the media celebrated this stolen glory. And Riley is just a tremendous athlete, and it was a very unfair situation. I watched it. A lot of people watched it. It was ridiculous, frankly. But I want to thank Riley. She really has been in the forefront. People that aren't that well versed in this would say that she was the leader. And great job, Riley. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And also with us is another great champion for women, Peyton McNabb. In high school, Peyton was a rock star athlete. Where is Peyton? Where is Peyton? I like Peyton. Nice to see you. Good job. Good job. Looks like a good athlete to me. In high school, Peyton was a rock star athlete preparing for a future in college sports, but in one volleyball match, a much taller and stronger male spiked the ball right in her face, knocking her unconscious, partially paralyzing her right side and leaving her with a traumatic brain injury. And Peyton said it was 100% avoidable if only my rights as a female athlete had been more important than a man's feelings, and we can't let it happen, and it's not going to happen. Not going to happen anymore, Peyton. It's not going to happen. Are you okay? Are you good?
I'm doing a lot better.
Good. That's good. Thank you. We're also pleased to be joined by many incredible leaders on this issue. And as I mentioned before, Speaker Mike Johnson, and he has been so strong on this issue because he's a man of common sense. I mean, it really is. It's common sense more than anything else. So, Mike, thank you. Great job. Great job in everything. He's got the easiest job of any politician in history. He's got the nicest, like 200 and almost 20. It sort of varies between, depends on how many people I take from my administration. It goes up and down a little bit, but I promised I won't take any more. I just wanted to see how good he was. I was testing you. And we have some great people, but he's filling them up rapidly. He had some big wins the other day, very big wins the other day. But you've done a fantastic job. Thank you very much, Mike. We appreciate it. We all appreciate it. And also the dozens of members of the House and Senate and governors that attorney generals, so many people, and the people outside that can't even get in. This room is packed. And, I offered to build a ballroom. I'm very good at building ballrooms. I build beautiful ballrooms. And I actually offered to build a ballroom for the White House. I was going to build it right there. This was going to be the reception room. And then I was going to build a beautiful, beautiful ballroom like I have at Mar-a-Lago, as beautiful as it can be. It was going to cost about $100 million. I offered to do it, and I never heard back. I offered to do it to the Biden administration, very active administration. And they didn't hear back. And I said again and again, 3-4 times, I said to top people, and they just didn't know what to do. They sort of said, this is good, but they had no idea. So I'm going to try and make the offer to myself, because we could use a bigger room, right, Marshall? We could use a bigger room. President, would you like to build? Yeah, I would. We could use at the White House. It would actually be a beautiful addition. It's going to cost nothing. I'll spend the whole thing myself. We'll do a big, beautiful room, but we could use it at the White House. You know what they do when they have a big ceremony? They put up a tent. And somehow I think we've outgrown the tent stuff, right? Don't you think? So we'll see if they can, we'll see if Trump will approve it. But the actions we're taking today are the latest in a sweeping effort to reclaim our culture and our laws from the radical left crusade against biological reality. On day one, I made it official, and I'm making it official policy of the United States government that there is, two genders. We have two genders. What might they be? Man and woman, right? Male and female. Male and female. Can't think of too many others, but it's pretty amazing. I rescinded federal funds to, and this is so important, to any program that promotes transgender ideology using taxpayer dollars. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. And last week, I effectively banned the chemical castration and surgical mutilation of minor children. Can you believe I even have to say that? I banned governor. I banned. That's just like, who would ever think we have to even say that? Last week, I banned. Every day, we're ending the extremism of the last 4 years. We have other things that are just as ridiculous, not having to do with the subject, but just as ridiculous. Open borders where people are allowed to pour in from all over the world, from jails and prisons and mental institutions and insane asylums, people that are very sick, people that are very evil, killers, murderers. Many of them murdered more than one person. And we have to justify the fact that we're moving them out. We are moving them out in tremendous numbers. Tom Homan and Christie are doing a fantastic job, and the governor and other governors too. But that we have to even fight for this stuff is just incredible. And the media doesn't want to talk about it because it's nothing they can talk about. It's just they just don't want to really talk very much about it. Serious problem, but we're doing a great job, and the people understand, and that's why we won in a landslide. You know, they made it easy, and at some point, you know, we have to hope they do come around because we can never let this happen again. What's happened to our country, we can never let this happen again. So we are restoring sanity and common sense very simply to our government. We're defending the rights and safety and pride of the American people, including our great, great, great female athletes. What athletes you are, too, I tell you. And, you know, I'm not allowed to say this politically. It could end my career. They're really beautiful people. These are beautiful people. But you know, like everything else, it's a little bit different today. You're not allowed to say that because if you call a woman or a girl beautiful, that's the end of your career. But let's take a chance on it, Mike. Let's take a chance. So I want to thank everybody for being here. It's fantastic. And this is sort of a big, big day. It shouldn't have even been necessary to take place. This started a long time ago, and we ended it today. And I'm going to sign the executive order right now, and everything I said will go into effect immediately, okay? Thank you. Down in front. Thank you. Thank you so much. Everybody, thank you. You know, if you'd like to gather around me, I think I'm going to be okay. Come on. Come on. Secret Service is worried about them. If we have to worry about them, we have big problems. Okay, do you want to have it? You want to do this? Watch what I do, and then I'm going to give you some pens, okay? You ready? What a nice picture this is, huh, Governor? You ready? We'll do a good job. Wait, let me press that. I want to make this a really good signature, because this is, you know, this is a big one, right? Oh, I think we have a 10. We have a 10.
God bless you, Mr. President.
Pretty good, huh? I see that. Okay? Good. Now you're going to go out and win those events, right? Nice to see you all. Nice to see you. Great going, everybody. Nice to see you. Thank you, kids. Here, take a pen. I'll give some of these out, okay? Take a pen, take a pen.
Thank you so much.
Where's Riley?
Live from the heartland.
Oh, the Democrats are so done. I mean, they're so done. Oh, we should have had one of those Marine guys come in and play taps. They're so done. what an awesome, awesome picture that's going to make. We all know the fight, fight, fight picture was probably the most iconic presidential picture of all time. That's probably going to be like number 2 or 3 behind John saluting JFK's funeral. Wow. Wow. All those smiling, happy little girls surrounding the President of the United States as he signs the order going, nah, no more of this crazy stuff happening. Not going to happen. It's it just tugs at your heart that these kids, at least for the time being, don't have to deal with that crap. And I'm sure, probably it's 4:15, 4:16. Yeah, probably by 5 o'clock, the Democrats will be running somewhere and suing. Because they just got to have the Transformers in women's sports. It's mandatory. What you just saw is one of the reasons why I keep saying I don't think the Democrats can win another election anytime soon. Just put that again on the list. In order for them to change so much of what the nation hates, they'd have to let go. You'd have to let go of the Transformers. You have to let go of trying to bring in newcomers. You'd have to let go of trying to raise taxes. It's just so much. Their entire platform, nobody wants. And it's only getting worse. While he was talking, I'm getting texts, I'm getting links. The stuff that's coming out from the USAID stuff is just getting worse and worse and worse. Now you know why they're screaming. Well, you may not know. I'm going to show you. Because it's absolutely stunning. Stunning what's coming out. So give me a second. I got to run, talk to you about a couple things, and then we'll get back into it because OMG, it's absolutely crazy. Hey, listen, the IRS is the largest collection agency in the world, and it just stepped up enforcement for 2025. If you owe back taxes or have unfiled returns, don't wait for the IRS to come after you. Simply avoiding your tax troubles is the worst thing that you can do. Getting ahead of this is the smart move, but never, and I do mean never, contact the IRS alone. Turn it over to the tax team at Tax Network USA. Why? Because not all tax resolution companies are the same. Tax Network USA has a preferred direct line to the IRS. This means that they know which agents to deal with and which to avoid. Tax Network USA has proven strategies that are designed to settle your tax problems in your favor. Whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, their attorneys and negotiators have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt. Talk with one of their strategists and it's free. Stop the threatening letters, stop looking over your shoulder, and put your IRS troubles behind you once and for all. Call 1-800-958-1000 or visit TNUSA, Tax Network USA, TNUSA.com, and put /Barry. That'll get you. Once again, TNUSA.com/Barry. And with everything that's going on, I don't know what's going to happen with taxes. I'm hearing so many people talking right now saying, I'm not paying it. I'm just not going to pay this crap because of all this, the money that we're losing all over the place. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I don't blame people. If people say, I'm not paying it, then don't pay it. But I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I shouldn't have said that. I don't want to see you get in trouble. Oh, Barry told me not to pay my taxes. Well, I'm just pissed off. I am pissed off. All right, so give me a second. I want to talk to you about Lear Capital. I don't know if you saw the news. I'm going to get Kevin back on to talk about what's going on with the gold market. Gold, silver, got to have them both. And I'm starting to say gotta because there's so much happening in the world right now that it's absolutely crazy not to begin hedging your bets. If you can afford it, and for some reason a lot of people think they can't, well, gold is extremely, extremely expensive. Silver, on the other hand, anybody, basically anybody who buys a cup of coffee at Starbucks can begin looking at silver. In any event, talk to my friends at Lear Capital. As you know, President Trump has assembled the Avengers to make America great again. And of course, we're all excited and ready to see them get to work. But with everything we're seeing right now, don't take your eye off the ball. Things could get much worse before they get better. With the possibility of World War III still looming, and with the Democrats doing everything they can to impede Trump, you still need to keep your guard up and your money protected. Oh, and our national debt is still massively increasing. Don't get me wrong, I have high hopes for Trump's America, but I also have a family to look out for. You see, Trump and the Avengers have quite the uphill battle ahead. That's why I'm making sure I'm protected, and I'm recommending that you do the same. One way to be protected is by diversifying your portfolio. That's why on this channel I've been happy to partner with Lear Capital. As you know, I've been involved in real estate for quite some time. And although I dabbled in gold and silver, Kevin and his staff at Lear have helped to educate me even further, especially in regards to silver. Give Lear a call today and they'll show you how easy it is to move some of your savings or your retirement account into gold and silver. Gold and silver have been proven to hold value and protect wealth for the long term. Call Lear today at 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com to get your free gold and silver wealth protection guides. There's no obligation, just free information. Many of you have seen my interviews with Lear founder Kevin Demerit, and I can tell you this company is solid and likes to educate their customers. Just so you know, Lear has over 27 years of experience, thousands of 5-star reviews, and over $3 billion in trusted transactions, and is the only company with a 24-hour risk-free purchase. You don't pay unless you're 100% satisfied. So call 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com. And when you call, don't forget to ask how you can get up to $15,000 in bonus gold or silver with a qualifying purchase. So if you'd like to take advantage of this opportunity, please call my friends at Lear Capital at 800-601-5430 and tell them Barry sent you.
Say a strong message to Democrats who are out there pretending to be outraged about the long list of crap that this administration is cutting, federal waste and funding, like $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala, $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt, $20 million on a new Sesame Street show in Iraq, $4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. I could go on, and I'm happy to provide this list to every single one of you. Democrats are outraged that the American people want to be, they want their taxpayers going to good uses, not stuff like this. But then,
and it's amazing because, again, they're screaming out there. I mean, actually getting threatening at this point in terms of how the Democrats are talking. How do you get mad when she's reading off what got spent? The American people, I don't know when he's going to do it, but Trump needs to come out and he needs to bring a nice pad with him. I'm saying PowerPoint with a big screen behind him so that they can come up or on a lower third. And he needs to have a one of those Oval Office chats and say, listen, I understand the Democrats are all ticked off. They're running around screaming. I got to talk to you as an American. And let me tell you some of the things that Elon Musk and his team have found, and then go into however long it takes to read some of this stuff. And then at the end, just say, if you're okay with this, then let me know. But I'm pretty sure you're not okay with this, and so you should let them know. Because right now, they're pretending like nothing is wrong. I'm going to show you. There's so much screaming, whining, yelling, craziness. But not one person has said, oh, we shouldn't have spent that. We shouldn't have done this. Nope. They're mad because they got caught. I'm not making it up. You can watch. Oh, you will see them. That's right. Because it's coming.
They're very quiet about the fact that there are still North Carolinians and people in California who have lost everything. And in the last 4 years, this federal government did nothing to help them. This president will continue to put Americans first, and I think the successes of this week so far speak to that, and it's only Wednesday. So I'll see you guys later this week, and we'll see you this afternoon. Thank you very much.
So what was interesting about that, what I find extremely interesting in that, she called him out. There's a whole lot of people in North Carolina. There's a whole lot of people in Maui. Just ask them. Have the Democrats under Biden, because it happened while he was president, have they helped you get back on your feet? No, in fact, the $750 I didn't even qualify for. It's real simple. If the Democrats thought she was lying, if they thought she was, embellishing, go, CBS, NBC, all of you. You've got remote television crews. Go out there. Excuse me. Is it true that the Joe Biden and his people never paid you and never helped you? Ooh, okay. How about you? It's real simple. Find those people who say, no, everything was taken care of. But you're not going to find them. You're not going to, because you're lying. So when I see this kind of stuff, it kind of just makes me chuckle.
Must be a coalition that grows and grows and grows. There can be no bystanders in this fight. It is time that we understand the only thing necessary for wrong to triumph is for right to do nothing, for right to be silent. And so understand this. There are legislators walking through here, but these...
I want you to see the signs that these people are holding. And you realize they really don't like Americans. The one that you can see most prominently is ending global aid won't fix something and eggs. Which is arguably one of the stupidest things anybody could put on a sign. Ending global aid won't help the price of whatever and eggs. How do you know? If we find out that gazillions of dollars have been sent over there that could have helped subsidize or lower the price of eggs or help farmers, then yes, that shouldn't have been sent. It's absolutely incredible when they're saying we are going to win this fight. Exactly what fight are you in? Now, most of those people are probably government employees and their friends, because it's very simple to ask them, tell me what fight you're in. What is it you're fighting for? I'll look in the comments. I don't know what you're fighting for. You're fighting to keep the money going to all these other places? Is that what your fight is? Because you haven't defined it. This is one of the worst offenses in terms of, like, if you look at it as a military thing, I've ever seen. You have not defined what it is you're fighting for. What are you complaining about? Not a single Democrat can tell you, other than I hate Elon Musk and I hate Trump, and like, oh crap, they found out what we were doing. Not one time. You're going to hear some of this stuff, and I want them to tell you what it is that you need to win. What is it that you're fighting for?
These are the ways we're going to fight. First is the time when we have to stand up and to fight, to not stand on the sidelines, to have people by the millions. People by the millions are going to have to stand up and protest. When we come back here the next time, there should be hundreds of thousands and millions of people descending on Washington, D.C.
You heard a reason yet? They're not telling you any reason. Please tell me. Please tell me what it is. What's your cause? You're asking for hundreds and thousands and millions of people to take to the street. For what? This is, I've told you, they have no messaging and no leadership. This is like number one. Number one, what are we fighting for? We are fighting for fill in the blank. Okay, well then we need to find some people who are suffering because of X, Y, or Z. And you ask any of those people standing around, it's like, why are we out here? Elon Musk is stopping the funding of drag shows in Burma. Oh, I don't care about a drag show in Burma. Yeah, you do. Why do I care about Transformer shows in Burma? What's that got to do with me? And so they bring all these people out there and they're not defining what their cause is.
We all now know USAID. They're screaming about Elon Musk over there, but hey, George Soros and his boy are okay. They scream that we're all a threat to democracy when they've been systematically dismantling democracy before our eyes. They've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and there's no going back. So I would tell my colleagues across the other side of the aisle, take your salty tears and sit right back down.
Oh, I love her. Take your salty tears and sit your ass down. You got nothing for you. So let me show you some of the things that have come up just since, this morning. But before that, I got to go back to Pam Bondi real quick because OMG. What just happened? Why did that not show up? Did I lose that? I cannot believe I've lost my ability to show these things. It took it away. So I'm just going to have to show it this way. I will not be defeated by this computer and different apps. All right, here we go. AG Bondi, DOJ #1 directive, fight weaponization of justice, eliminate the cartels, and lift the death penalty ban. So, the ink ain't even dry yet on her certificate. It's not even dry, and she's out there letting people know, this ain't gonna happen. She day one directive, fight weaponization of justice, eliminate cartels, and lift the death penalty ban. Anybody got a problem with that? I don't think you do. Let me see if I can't fix this so we can see things better. Hold on one second. Yes, it's one of those days. All right, so we got that. All right, so let me show it to you again. AG Bondi's DOJ Day 1 directive, fight weaponization of justice, eliminate the cartels, and lift the death penalty ban. I ain't got no problem with that. You want to take them out? Take them out. Just to let you know, in case you missed this, catching up, Scott Turner is the 19th Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, former football player. What's very interesting is the score was 55-44. You may be thinking to yourself, housing and urban development. There's a whole lot of minorities who are covered by HUD. And you get a minority man who's now the leader of it, but 44 Democrats said, no. So much for your complaints about diversity, because now we know you're full of it. Now this one I'm going to show you, I can't really say too much about it. I'll have to use my, disclaimer words, because you're going to get ticked off. This got uncovered this morning. An internal review reveals that USAID sent $70 billion to fund removals and ideology in foreign countries. Let that sink in. It wasn't a misprint. 70 billion for baby removals in foreign countries. Your tax dollars, my tax dollars. I have no words for that. I literally have no words for that. Marjorie Taylor Greene is all over it. Did you know that USAID sent $70 billion with a B of your hard-earned tax dollars to fund removals and woke ideology in foreign countries? $70 billion. I could actually stop the show right now and say, yeah, you've seen enough. You've absolutely seen enough. Let me click on the comments here because I can't even believe what I just read to you. 70 billion. So when you're hearing these people scream in the street and get completely irate, what are you exactly screaming about? You need more? You don't want that to stop? We need to take it to 72 billion? We need to take it to 79 billion? What is it you want from us? Blood? Yeah, we're going to fight. What the hell are you fighting for? $70 billion worth of baby removals. I don't even know what a baby removal costs, but I definitely don't know what a baby removal cost in Afghanistan. Or whatever country it is. I don't know what it cost over there. $100, $300, I don't know. But I do know $70 billion is absolutely, let me find that. Just you guys, did I close it already? 70 billion. 70 billion. God help us. Can you imagine how many children have been removed and disposed of? I'm saying this in the nicest of words so these people don't get mad, because, you know, it's funny how something that you spend $70 billion of, you have a problem with people talking about it. If it's such a worthy thing to spend 70 flipping billion on, you'd think you'd be out there in the street and allowing everybody to talk about it, and you want to encourage it. But we can't even say the words here because otherwise somebody's fifi might get hurt. We can't talk about it. But you can spend my money. Can't talk about it, but you can spend my money. And you got these politicians going, we're going to fight. Wow, man, that's the hill you want to die on? Talk about freezing money. Pam Bondi just ordered the Justice Department to freeze all funding for sanctuary cities and has instructed attorneys to begin prosecuting officials preventing ICE from doing their job. It's from George. That's huge. Arrest them. Do whatever you need to do. Get rid of them. Get rid of them now. Do whatever you need to do. And freeze all funding for sanctuary cities. So if you are a sanctuary city and you've been getting money from the government, you thought 75 million, 70 billion was, this one's not as bad. If you were getting money from the government, you would think that at this point the battle lines are put in place. The battle lines have been drawn. 70 billion. But that's not too bad. How about this? 45 million for baby removals and birth control in Gaza. I thought that was against their religion. So we gave them a whole bunch of condoms, but that wasn't enough. So we got to catch them coming and going, per se, right? You want both sides of the equation done here. 45 million of your money. 45 million. For those of you counting at home, you're going to need a calculator. It's absolutely incredible. Let me continue to make you sick. All right? Can someone explain to me why the Department of Defense provided $9 million to Reuters, quote, for active social engineering defense, large-scale social deception. $9 million. But you're fighting for this. You're fighting because you don't want to see this go away. It's that important to you. OMG, I gotta have this. And I'm sure none of the people behind these politicians has any clue why they're there. It's like hate Elon Musk festival, but you don't know what you hate him for. just because he's showing the world this insanity. That's what's really, really getting to you. Mike Cernovich, this is crazy, man. USAID gives grants to far left-wing nonprofits. Nonprofits then pay their employees six-figure salaries, mostly in the $300,000 to $500,000 a year range. I'd estimate that over half of the DC economy is an outright looting of all of us via USAID grants. So let me just tell you what he's saying there. All these people in the Beltway who are making huge salaries, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, because they work for Keep the Babies Away from Humans activism group, Feed Anybody But Americans LLC, whatever, fill in the dot. USAID is giving them millions of dollars, and the people sitting in the offices are making $300,000 to $400,000, $500,000 doing nothing. But this is what they want to fight for. How can any Democrat sit across from you at a table and go, "Did you know this?" Well, it doesn't matter. It's Elon Musk. No. Are you okay with this? See, the only people who can be okay with this stuff, are people who weren't paying any taxes. Because it doesn't mean anything to you. I didn't pay any money in taxes. Remember, most of these people don't pay taxes. So they're climbing on your back and riding you as hard as they possibly can and saying, "Giddy up, get your butt to work and pay this stuff." Nonprofit, hey, give me $500,000. $50 million in taxpayer dollars went to New York Times. These media companies are essentially funded by the U.S. taxpayer to attack Democrat opponents. And Mario writes here, Elon, New York Times is government-funded media. Federal records show the U.S. government has sent the New York Times over $50 million despite much lower payments in previous years. So let me get this right. These newspapers and media outlets that hate me are using my money to tell everybody to hate me. I'm not making this up. You can go, as I've said many times, go do your own research. Start looking at what exactly is going on and why are these people so pissed off. They're pissed off because you're finding out how they made the sausage for decades. And it stinks. There's no defense of this. None. That's probably one of the biggest reasons they're pissed off, because they can't defend what's happening. You're going to love this one. You had enough yet? No, you didn't. USAID provided $400 million to ANOVA, a South African NGO with an inoperative website to advocate for alternative lifestyle inclusivity in healthcare at Pride celebrations. $400 million. $400 million to a country I couldn't point to on a map. ANOVA. You got $750 maybe if you lived in Appalachia, right? Yeah. I can keep going. I got a couple more I can show you, and it will take some comments because it's so awful. You guys, some of you guys may have Kaiser as your health insurance, right? Yeah, Kaiser. Well, wait till you see this one. This one's going to get you. In 2023, USAID through Kaiser paid the guy who owned an island, you ready for it? $265,000. You and I contributed to the payment of the dude who owned that island. Now about this point, you're ready to vomit. Right? At this point, you're like, wait a second. You're telling me I contributed to that? Yes, you did. He didn't even say thank you to you. Just said, hey, thanks. Here's the money. $265,000. It just keeps getting worse. It just keeps getting worse. Here's a video, and I can only show you the video. Just to let you know, I can only show you the video. I can't play you the audio because, yeah. But I'm just going to show you this video. I want you to watch this one. Here's a video from an Ecuadorian group that was produced thanks to a $25,000 grant from the Biden State Department. Democrats in Congress are currently blasting Trump for stopping payments for things like this. Thanks to the U.S. taxpayers, these people were able to produce a video of them strutting around as seen in the footage by the New York Post. The Fundación Diálogo Diverso group used taxpayer funds to put on a 2-day workshop intended to promote diversity and inclusion abroad. At the end of the video, an American flag popped up with the words, funds provided by the United States government. Let's listen. I mean, not listen, but let's... I don't want to play the music because the copyright, but you get the gist here. How long is it? That's only 3 minutes. I'll skip around so you guys can see it. And, oh, this is fantastic. $25,000 of your money. 25 grand. Oh, yeah, 25 grand for this dude. I can't watch anymore. I can't even. No, I can't. I just can't. No words can describe this. How about this one? Over $4 billion went to Haiti. However, Haiti only got 2% of it. The rest went scattered around to firms in Washington, D.C. All this money has been going around from USAID, and as you can see, sliver here, the yellow is what it went to Haiti. The gray is Beltway, and actually, I can't even tell the color. Yeah, the blue is Beltway, and everything else went there. Out of $4 billion. So I just want to know from these Democrats, what are you bitching at? What are you screaming at? What has to happen that you don't like what's happening? I mean, when you look at the stuff that's going on, you have to wonder to yourself, how did we get here? And at the same time, how do we get out of here? Well, let me see what you got. Had a Democrat been elected, God would have been done with America. By the way, speaking about a Democrat being elected, CBS, because they're being sued by Trump, had to release the entirety of the 60-minute video interview with Kamala Harris uncut, and they had to post it. It's on X everywhere. Oh my God. That's all I can say is we dodged serious bullets. Holy crap, Elon has discovered and shut down the deep state's funding. This is huge. And we're not, and I'm only showing you a few things thus far. Hey, Ashley, I'm speechless. There's so much more. There are so many people digging out there who are now just, at this point, just shaking their head going, you gotta be kidding me. And I applaud these people for the digging that they're doing, because it's really helping at this point to put the word out there and let people know what's been going on. Which leads to question is, I'm going to come back to it because I keep posing it to you so that you can talk on X and ask these people, what are you fighting for? Doesn't make any sense. You want all of this to continue? You demand you're going to storm the Bastille and try to kick in doors, everything, because this is what this is the hill? Or is this the hill that they've told you need to fight for? And remember, all of what you're seeing is still just one agency. The rot at this point, and now with Elon and his team, which is probably expanding at this point, I mean, just imagine the sandwich that these people are eating. I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this stuff. Look at all this stuff we keep seeing. Let's go to this.
You know, sometimes the big spenders in Congress talk as if all that money they spend just kind of magically appears on their doorstep, a gift from the Internal Revenue Service. They talk as if spending were all giving and no taking. Well, there is no magic money machine. Every dollar the government spends comes out of your pockets. Every dollar the government gives to someone has to first be taken away from someone else. So it's our moral duty to make sure that we can justify every one of your tax dollars, that we spend them wisely and carefully, and just as important, fairly. Unfortunately, hardly anyone could honestly call federal budgets wise, careful, or fair. Is it fair to ask one small business to help subsidize its competitors? Is it fair to ask workers in the private economy to pay for civil service pensions that are much more generous than the retirement benefits they receive? Is it fair to ask low-income families to help pay for the college education of children from families with incomes as high as $100,000 a year? Is it fair to ask taxpayers to help pay billions for export subsidies to a handful of America's biggest corporations? Well, it isn't fair, and you know it. But that's the law of the land right now. Just part of the legacy of 50 years of trying to do good things for all by treating your earnings like government property. The time has come to decide what benefits we can properly expect from the federal government for ourselves, our neighbors, and those in need, and what government can take from us in taxes without making everyone worse off, including those who need our help. The one thing we cannot do is stay on the immoral, dead-end course of deficit spending.
Look at all the fraud.
That obviously was Ronald Reagan. 30 years ago, 40 years ago? He noticed it then. This doesn't make any sense. We can't keep on this road. It's unsustainable. You keep asking Americans to give more, and you're not showing that you're a good steward of what they give. But even then, I think that was wrong, because nobody's giving. They are taking your money. They are demanding that you pay more. You know, the millionaires and billionaires, you got to pay your fair share. What the hell is a fair share? Can you define it? Because now I'm thinking my fair share is shrinking quite a bit because of what you people have shown us you're spending money on. And yet you're fighting in the streets, screaming, because you don't want it to end. This is such a losing proposition for the Democrats and the media. One and the same, actually. That you realize at this point, we are in the Second American Revolution. And number two, they are willing to die on this hill. Because as more stuff just keeps getting uncovered, it's only going to be a matter of time before they start associating names with this stuff. Who got this money? Whose account did it land in? It's inevitable. It's inevitable, and they probably have it in hidden LLCs, and they're digging in to find out who runs these LLCs that this money goes to. And it's probably both sides of the aisle. And Trump knows this. He knows we're about to see something.
He's found in this USAID. It's a disaster what the people, radical left lunatics, they have things that nobody would have even believed. The whole thing with $100 million spent on you know what, with money going to all sorts of groups that shouldn't deserve to get any money. With the money, I'd like to see what the kickbacks are. How much money has been...
That's the President of the United States who just dropped a casual bomb. He didn't say if. I like to listen to words people use. I like to see what the kickbacks are. He didn't say, I like to see if there are any kickbacks, or I wonder if there were kickbacks. I'd like to see what the kickbacks are. Which means to me, because it only goes following everything, is that they know some of this already. You can't be putting out all of this data on a minute-by-minute basis and going, oh, this company, blah, 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 without knowing whose account it is in. You probably got copies of people who signed for this stuff. And it's just a matter of digging before the names are associated with it. It's not even hard work. Even if they try to obfuscate by using layer after layer of corporation, an algorithm written correctly is going to dig through those records pretty quick. And I'm pretty sure Elon, now having access to all this, which is maybe why they're freaking out, because that's what they actually been saying. Oh, you know, Elon Musk and his 22-year-olds all have access to your... They're not worried about your information. Oh, they might have your social security. No, they got yours. That's what they're worried about. They don't give a... Obviously, they don't give a crap about you. They don't give a crap about me. They realize now it's only a matter of time before that information drops. Somebody got 20 million and it went here. It's not going to be hard. Oh my goodness. I'm the first person who said it, and looky what I got here for you. Oh my goodness. Ooh, wow. He must be watching a show, or somebody must be saying it to him. Somebody goes, the Second American Revolution. Elon Musk, to his gazillion followers, just said yes, and much needed. Okay. That's all I needed to hear. They're acknowledging that this is indeed, as he put, the Second American Revolution. You had better. I don't care if you get it from Lear. Actually, I'd prefer if you got it from Lear. But yeah, get ready. Get ready. I had posted yesterday. I think we are at the beginning of the Titanic hitting the iceberg. We don't even know everything that's below the surface. I think what's about to get exposed is going to be unimaginable. I think what we're going to see is going to make you spin like Linda Blair in The Exorcist. You follow the money, you're going to see a lot of things. And for him to just put, I actually just got to chill when I saw that. When I just saw this. And understand, this was 2 minutes ago, so it wasn't something I had planned. I just clicked on this and went, at 4:54, which is a couple of minutes ago, Elon just confirmed to this guy, yeah, we're in the Second American Revolution. OMG. Wow. Wow. He just put that up there. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Here come the names. Here come the names. Chelsea Clinton taking home $84 million. Here come the names. They can't, no one can stop what is coming. Elon Musk just posted that Chelsea Clinton, through that web of whatever, and this is what I was just telling you. I said eventually we're gonna start seeing, charts where, you're gonna see like where money goes and how it was and everything else and who it went to, and at the very end, the Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton one is at the very right. Gross receipts, 83 million. 23 million. This is where it gets crazy, people. This is what they're fighting for. Now the names are coming out. Now the names are starting to surface, and you're going to see people heading for the hills. Your government, in no uncertain terms, has been stealing your money and just giving it out to these people. Oh my God. Yes, finally. Here come the names. Prison. Now you know why they all are screaming. They're trying to protect each other. They're trying to rush the building. Now, and also you notice that, I don't know about Hillary, but the Obama, everybody, the big names have been very quiet because they're probably planning their exits. Wow, wow, wow. Tommy, you're right. The fleecing of America. Wow, wow. Yeah, people probably going underground at this point. And the problem is there's so many people digging at this point. Because now they know where to go. And they can't take the websites down. So Elon's like, have at it. Just go for it. See what you guys come up with. So when Trump said, yeah, I'd like to see the kickbacks. Now we're starting to see names. We're starting to see the flipping names. Second American Revolution? Yeah, it's here. Don't take my word for it. Think about how you feel right now. Think about how these people are reacting. And think about what you are actually thinking as an American. That you get up and work every single day, and if you're retired, you worked every single day, and you worked hard, and you did stuff for your family, and came home, and you may have a bad back from working, or like me, bad knees, and you're like, oh, I just got to get through the day, and these people are stealing you blind. At this point, they have nowhere to hide. Most countries will send them back to escape tariffs. Yeah, and you saw that. Where'd that go? Somebody saw the entry for the guy who owned the island, and he was supposedly dead in 2019. See, I wasn't going to go there. I didn't want to go there. We have all been disrespected. That's the least of it. Now you know why they're screaming. Now you know specifically why these people are screaming. Let's continue.
Kicked back. Who would spend that kind of money to some of the things that you read about and I read about and I see every night on the news and every morning when I read the papers? Who would spend money for that? I would say this. The people that got all that money, are they kicking it back to the people that gave it from government? No, that's, to me, very, very corrupt.
I have a picture here of an...
All right, so if the President of the United States is raising those kind of questions, he already knows the answers. I'm sure Elon has said, hey man, Chelsea Clinton got $84 million. And he went, what? What? So I did some digging, and somebody else had put this together. And I mentioned to you yesterday how Glenn Beck used to have the board behind him, and he was writing all these different things. Listen to this thing. This piece here is chilling.
Al-Qaeda leader, and they are in a USAID tent. Look who signed the check for the initial $200,000 payment to the Islamic Relief Agency, the United States Agency for International Development. The more you look into USAID, the more shocked you will become. USAID was running a top-secret espionage program to undermine Cuba and push people to dissent. Now, let me show you how much money we're talking about. It included a $1 billion sovereign loan guarantee, $320 million in general assistance. So where else beside the NIH has money been coming from? By far, the largest donors are from USAID and the Department of Defense. Judicial Watch found that the U.S. State Department...
Whoa. That was, a couple years ago. And he said the money was coming from the Department of Defense back then. Elon, as far as we know, hasn't even put the people yet, haven't put the dogs on the Department of Defense yet. That's coming up, unless they're doing that in secret. And they're working with Pete Hegseth. And they're drilling and digging and digging and digging to find out what Department of Defense is out there spending money too. Yeah.
USAID had been giving millions to the Macedonian arm of George Soros's Open Society Foundation. What for? To train youth movements. So USAID, and those are always, they're known by anybody who pays attention as CIA fronts. This is, the USAID comes into a country, they start doing things, and next thing you know, we've got a revolution on our hands because that's the CIA.
Those pieces went back as far as 2013, and they compiled them. So Glenn Beck has been right all along. I know a lot of you guys probably follow, what's his name, Alex Jones. But Glenn Beck has been right there. He just hadn't had the publicity. He's been right all along. And they got booted from network after network. Don't talk about that stuff here. We can't go there. Why? Because we're probably going to find out, I'd say in the next 24 to 48 hours, that CNN and Fox got some money too. I'm convinced of it. Now we're starting to dig. Now we're starting to see everything that's happening. And as we dig into this stuff, I don't think any of these people in the media or politics is safe. I think at this point, they're all dirty. And it's just a matter of time.
In the building behind me, Elon Musk is seizing power from the American people. We are here to fight back.
So as you hear this next bit of compilations, where I want you to focus in not so much on the ranting and raving, but see if they define what you're fighting for. What are you fighting back? Elon Musk is in this building with his people, and they're exposing our corrupt stuff. Because I don't hear you saying what you stand for. What is the cause?
Agitating. We will see you in the courts, in Congress, in the streets. Elon Musk is a Nazi nutball baby. A godless, lawless billionaire who no one elected. Elon, this is the American people. This is not your trashy Cybertruck that you can just dismantle, pick apart, and sell the pieces of.
This isn't a political party anymore. You are not hearing a political party. You're hearing lunatics who've been caught. There's nobody who's going to vote for this nonsense. There can't be that big of an audience at this point who are sitting back and listening to this, because we know this because we just went through November 5th. So now you're back to, the whole Nazi thing, and now you're insulting his business that made him who he is, and you're calling the Cybertruck trash. Who's what do you want? Please tell me. What is it you want?
And I want to say, be on your asses, and we are going to make sure you understand what democracy looks like. This ain't it. Every movement needs a scrappy little dick, and I am that person.
Oops.
Elon Musk is seizing the power that belongs to the American people. We are here to fight back.
What power has he seized? You could almost see it in their eyes. The crazy eye stuff that they do. What exactly is it that he has seized? The president gave him the authority. maybe your clown audience doesn't understand it. President said, hey, Elon, go do this. Let me know what you find out. And these people are like, what?
Organizing, mobilizing, agitating. We will see you in the courts, in Congress, in the streets. Elon Musk is a Nazi nepo. God damn it, shut down the city.
I'm sorry, I didn't have time to, because my computer went down. I didn't have time to do the blip on that one. In fact, let me go ahead and mark that down so I can delete it from the replay. I didn't want you to hear that. But as you heard it, this is a congressperson. This is somebody who was elected somehow saying things like this. They are now openly calling for violence. Why? My prevailing theme is why? What are you nutbags all upset about to the point where you're swearing, you're screaming, you're calling for violence? Can you lower your voice, please? Just tell me, what's wrong?
We are at war. The red men speak, we war. They don't call us Mama Bear for nothing. Right? They don't call us Mama Bear for nothing. We are going to show up, we are going to fight, and we are going to be with you every step of the way. Muchísimas gracias. Hasta la victoria.
This is not Elon Musk's country. This is not Trump's country. This is our country. We deserve to have decent jobs. We deserve to have the respect. We deserve to be treated in a way that all Americans should be treated. And so let me just tell you now.
Have access to our Social Security numbers.
Do they even know what they're there for? I mean, at some point when you hear this, you think to yourself, were they just told to just get out there, do whatever you need to do, disrupt, cause problems, scream? Maxine Waters gets out there and talks about nothing to do with Elon. We want jobs and water and clothing and what? What are you talking about? What are you? So I started thinking after I started watching all this stuff, maybe they were just told, get out there, scream, whine, do whatever you need to do, just get out there. Because I didn't edit this. That's why you're seeing some of these things a little bit. I just put them all together because I'm like, there's something wrong here. There is something seriously wrong that just doesn't add up. These people are elected officials, and they can't even put sentences together. It's amazing.
Social Security payments, our medical benefits, all of the information that we use when we are trying to get a motherfucking tax return.
Let me mark that one down too. All right, so you've heard a couple of these people at this point who have completely lost it. There is no self-control at this point. The anger is at 11. And nobody seems to be able to let us know, have a clue what the hell you're upset about. But you're so mad, you can't even... These are elected officials. These people were put there by certain constituents, can't tell you why, and they can't, they're frothing at the mouth. So something is really, really wrong. In other words, these people have been caught with their pants down. Oh, yeah.
And you're gonna take our money?
With you in this fight, and we will win.
We will win.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We will win. We will.
Everything, hands off our bodies, hands off our data, hands off our tax refunds, hands off our Social Security checks, hands off our Constitution, hands off our democracy, hands off.
Taxes, Constitution, our money. I don't even know the stuff she's talking about. Are you starting to see what I'm trying to tell you? Are you starting to see that these people may have just been told to get out there, and they probably turn, what are we talking about? Just tell people you're not going to take anymore. What are we not going to take? Taxes. We're the people who like to raise taxes. Oh, tell them that they're stealing your money. No, you're stealing the money. It doesn't make any sense. So at this point, there's only one answer for what's going on. We are seeing, and I know many of you are spiritual and Christians. Does this not look demonic to you? Is it just me? Or do I feel like I'm looking into the eyes of a beast? Because nothing makes sense. There is no basis for what they're saying. They can't even articulate their position. I had somebody a couple of weeks ago, and it said, Barry, I think there's a demon in you. He actually wrote this to me. I had to show it to Ashley and Robin. I'm like, what is this, dude? And he's like, I just watched one of your videos, and you talked for like 2 hours, and you didn't even have a script. So I think something's in you. I'm like, okay, dude. Okay. What do you think's in these people? What do you think is in these people? Downey Speaker, yes, very much demonic, because at this point, demons don't quit. At this point, there's no explanation for what you're seeing. See, I could understand if Elon Musk said, hey, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it so nobody in Congress gets paid. Didn't happen. Okay, we're going to make it so nobody who lives in these zip codes can get welfare checks or food stamps. Didn't happen. So you're out there in the street screaming for whatever reason you think. You can't even articulate. You're screaming, you're swearing, and you're angry. And you can't tell a single person what you're angry about. There can only be a few explanations for that, and it's kind of scary.
Waiting for the courts to go through this. What is the ramification? What happens? These people leave their jobs. What are the consequences?
Well, the consequences are that people die, babies die. I mean, right now we are in.
Chris Murphy, who is one of the biggest advocates for baby removal, is now all of a sudden upset because babies are going to die. Like I said, it doesn't make nothing come out of their mouth makes any sense. Dude, I could post speech after speech after speech where you're out there banging the pavement, promoting baby removal, and you just went on TV and said, well, babies are going to die. Dude, Mika, I don't think he was on set, but at that point, I'd have had to, like, back away. I'm like, man, you're going to get struck with lightning. Now? You're worried about babies dying. Now?
Involved in Gaza and in Sudan in providing food to malnourished babies. Literally, there will be dead children, hundreds, thousands of them. And China will very quickly jump into the void. Remember,
What void? You think China's just going to go out there and start doling out dollars to hungry kids? Hey, America's no longer feeding these people. So China, you know, they're going to come in and fill the void. Huh? Now you're worried about kids dying? You're not making any sense, bro. We've seen you. You're crazy. You got the big eyes. What are you people freaked out about?
A contest with China as to who owns the piping of the international economy for the next 50 years. And when the United States disappears from Africa, when we are not helping Africa with economic development projects or security projects or clean water projects.
I struggle to find what I've gotten from Africa. I could walk around my entire house and there's probably not a single thing in here that I've purchased from Africa. I'm pretty sure there's nothing Robin's purchased from Africa. I'm really sure that what are these people talking about? It makes you just go crazy. We got to take care of that. Have you not been to North Carolina? I know you're in Connecticut. It just come down about 10 hours. Just come south about 10 hours. You don't got to go over to Africa. You can go to North Carolina, Appalachia, and talk to the people there whose babies may be dying or need stuff. They hate you. They freaking hate Americans. I never thought I would get to that point where I would start feeling this way. That these people really hate America. They would sell us out quicker than they blink. Obviously, they've been doing that without any regard. We don't care about these people in Maui, California, North Carolina. They don't care. There's a kid over in Africa who's eating dirt. We got to send your money over there. It's not even America first, second, third, or fourth. They don't give a crap about America. They wouldn't care if none of these people were helped.
China will be there and do it for us. And then when there's a contract for 5G or port infrastructure or a critical mineral deposit, it'll be China that will get that contract. And it'll be the U.S. that loses out, both in influence and in jobs. So it's immediately catastrophic to the United States in terms of our influence around the world and our ability to protect ourselves from China, Russia, and non-state actors.
There's a big ocean. A big ocean between us and anybody over there. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't think Africa has an army. I'm pretty sure of it. Maybe some warlords. But we're supposed to be afraid? Because, again, I don't make light of the fact that there are people in need in some of these countries. But charity begins at home. Why are you people so against helping Americans? Listen to this.
And still I rise, Mr. Speaker. And I rise today, Mr. Speaker, with a to whom it may concern message. To whom it may concern, ethnic cleansing in Gaza is not a joke, especially when it emanates from the President of the United States, the most powerful person in the world, when he has the ability to perfect what he says. Ethnic cleansing in Gaza is no joke, and the Prime Minister of Israel should be ashamed, knowing the history of his people, to stand there and allow such things to be said. Ethnic cleansing has been a crime against humanity. And I stand here today in the well to deny.
Oh, there's something in the water in Washington. There is definitely something happening. With what you're seeing, can you really deny that we're in a second American Revolution? I'm serious. Can you see what's going on? They've lost it. And so what this guy's about to do, if you haven't seen this clip, you're going to be stunned. Well, actually, you probably won't be stunned because nothing these people are doing is stunning you anymore. But listen to this moron.
That's what it was said, to denounce what the president said, to denounce the complicity of the Prime Minister of Israel, and to remind people that Dr. King was right. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And injustice in Gaza is a threat to justice in the United States of America. I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done. I also rise to say that the impeachment movement is going to be a grass-up movement, not a top-down. The people have got to move forward. The people have to demand it. And when the people demand it, it will be done. I did it before. I laid the foundation for impeachment, and it was done. Nobody knows more about it than I. And I know that it's time for us to lay the foundation again. On some issues, it is better to stand alone than not stand at all. On this issue, I stand alone, but I stand for justice. I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields back. Members are reminded to refrain from engaging in personalities toward the president.
They've done.
He was inaugurated on January 20th. It is now, as this video is playing, February 5th. Little over 2 weeks, Donald Trump has been president of the United States again. And they're already filing they're already filing articles of impeachment. If I didn't see that myself, I would not have believed it. They are so freaked out that we got to impeach him, which has zero chance of having any success. You don't control the House. You don't control the Senate. You have zero chance of impeaching this man. Maybe this is why it's about time you guys, while it's still in a funny laugh at them stage, every time you hear them talk, there's something that you need to take heed of. They keep trying to tell people, hit the streets, grass up, not top down. They are sending out code to the orcs to do bad things. So make sure you know. Because I don't know where this is going. They're losing it, and they're calling, and they are inciting, and it's only going to be a matter of time before you start seeing some stuff happen. Pam Bondi's going to be busy. Kash Patel is going to be busy. It's about to get nuts. I'm not saying you can see it.
Nothing as it relates to lowering the high cost of living. At the same time, they are raiding the government, attempting to steal taxpayer money.
This is what they're telling people. As this stuff gets revealed, showing the theft, they are telling their constituents, who must have the IQ level of a frog, that Elon Musk is stealing money. You're looking at receipts everywhere on the internet. Everywhere is showing it. Look what they got. Look what they got. And you're telling the person who's showing the receipts that he's stealing the money. This is gaslighting on a scale we've never seen. Again, it's because they're trying to reach an audience that's crazy. There's enough of them out there. I don't know how many, but they're crazy.
That's what the situation at the Treasury Department is all about. We will introduce the Stop the Steal Act in short order.
They can't even think up their own name? Do these idiots not even realize what he just said? Somebody want to tell him? Somebody want to tap him on the shoulder? Hey, I don't think you want to call it Stop the Steal. Hey, Dime Store Obama, ixnay on the Stop the Steal. Maybe a quick Google search might change your mind about calling it Stop the Steal, bro. I'm just saying, you didn't think this one out. As you're pausing with every 2 words, and you're telling all of us that you'd like to create an act called Stop the Steal. Maybe you should be like anyone looking at the title of a book or a song and Googling it or looking at the copyright database and say, was there anyone else who used the term Stop the Steal? I'm just saying. Save yourself some heartache. You dime store idiot.
To prevent unlawful access with respect to the Department of Treasury's payment system connected to people who are trying to steal personal, sensitive, and confidential information.
Democrats agree that Musk is a problem, but listen to them today, and they have a piñata in search of a stick.
You know you've lost your offensive when even CNN sees what you're saying, and just watch. You may have seen this, but just watch this.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist!
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your asses.
We have days to stop the destruction of our democracy. We have work to do. Tell Elon Musk to take his hands off your money. We don't pledge allegiance to the creepy 22-year-olds working for Elon Musk. We pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
And goddamn it, shut down the city! We are at war!
We will win! We will win! We won't rest! We won't rest!
Gretchen.
Yes,
So,
they need the Democrats. The Democrats.
Oh gosh, it's so over. CNN is laughing at them. They're home. This is a home stadium. And CNN is like, oh no. Oh, how bad is it when CNN, which Scott Jennings is the only Republican out there, and they just start laughing at you? You're a walking joke. Nobody knows what the hell you're talking about. As I've said, there are Democrats who aren't nuts who are looking at this stuff going, what the hell are these people doing? Oh, I'm not down with that. These people are crazy.
They need a real leader, okay? They need a real leader, which currently does not exist in the Democratic Party.
USAID sponsored Americans.
All right. I've been telling you that about they have no leader. So I want you to watch this piece. It tells you where some of the USAID money has gone. Make sure you don't have anything in your mouth. Don't want you to have to throw up on your screen or on your phone. But just watch this.
Celebrity visits to Ukraine after Russia's full-scale invasion began. Angelina Jolie, $20 million. Sean Penn, $5 million. Jean-Claude Van Damme, $1.5 million. Orlando Bloom, $8 million. Ben Stiller, $4 million.
You paid for that. You gave Angelina Jolie $20 million. You gave Ben Stiller $4 million.
This was done to increase Zelensky's popularity among foreign audiences, particularly in the United States. The involvement of celebrities made it easier to coordinate funding programs for Ukraine during the conflict.
Trump is making Saudi.
I know some of you are probably throwing stuff at your TV screens right now. Like, oh, I've had enough. I've had it. I've had it with these people. But this next video is 1 minute and 40 seconds. Ashley sent it to me this morning. It is so funny.
Arabia invest $600 billion into America. No. Countries used to always make us give them money. And now he's making countries invest in America. Our tax money always went to Ukraine, Africa, and other countries. And we used to get mad. But now he's making countries give us money. Now they all want to invest in America. He's trying to make America great again. What are we gonna do? America keeps getting better by the day. Why is Trump doing this? We gotta stop him so we can be complaining about government again, giving away all our money. He
He also went to North Carolina and looked at all the damage when it took Biden forever to go. No! He says he wants to overhaul FEMA and make FEMA work for the people again. No! He's doing more in the week than Biden did in 4 years. Oh, no. I gotta get off here.
As she said that to me, and I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, that's what the Democrats are right now. The Democrats are a laughingstock. It's satire. People are making fun of them. They don't make any sense to anybody with any sort of frontal lobe functionality. They're done as a party. And because they're done, they're also getting desperate. And because they're desperate, that's when they could possibly get dangerous. But other than that, we are kicking the ever-loving crap out of them. They have no answer. They have no leader. They're flailing, and they're going to take to the streets, and they're going to do this, and they're going to storm the Bastille, and we're going to impeach him. All of that together, every bit of that, all that equals is one thing.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning, and you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
I'll tell you what, though. What's funny to me is, if I were you, I'd just stay out of blue cities for a while. Just stay out of where the pack hunts, because who knows what's going on with these people at this point. There's no telling what kind of skullduggery is happening at this point. They got nothing. No one. When CNN and black people are laughing at the Dems, I mean laughing, they couldn't even hold it in. It was, ooh, they're whacked. That's when you know we caught them. We caught them with their pants down, and I made that collection. And I have no shortage of things to talk about. I mean, when I come back on at 8, which I'll do because the first show got screwed up. We'll give out some hoodies and stuff tonight. But when I come back, I already know. I am going to have a boatload of content to share with you. I know my sources. I know where to go. It's just every single minute something else comes up. And now we're naming names. Chelsea Clinton got $84 million. Good Lord. Good Lord. People screaming, banshees running around, got nothing. James says it's delirium exploding with Schumer tap dancing and whirling dervish yelling, we're going to win. Why? Because Trump has exposed them. Not one of those clips did anyone say, what the hell are you going to win? Imagine being out there. It's cold up north. And you're at this rally, and we're going to win. I can't tell you what we're going to win, but we're going to win. And we're going to fight. Oh, yeah, this is the tip of the iceberg. Just the tip. It's amazing. Love it. We love our President Trump. Gnashing of teeth has begun. Let them cry all the way to Gitmo. Yep. And the best part of all this stuff, just to let you know, as we get ready to close, the best part of this, number one, it's only been 2 weeks. And the best part is, while they're chasing their tail over here, Trump's doing it. Trump's getting it done. He's looking presidential. He's got Bibi Netanyahu meeting with him, and then Bibi met with Pete Hegseth, and he's signing executive orders, and he's surrounded by little girls who are so happy because of Trump's taking care of them, and meanwhile all the Democrats are out in the street screaming and getting them nowhere. Nowhere. There's not. I don't even see how a court can rule on this. What are you going to rule on? I have an advisory committee who's looking at spending. We're pausing spending to make sure it's correct. Oh, you can't pause spending. Just keep spending. Oh my God. Oh. And one of the things that injunctions are based upon is the harm of other people. So you're going to go in and say, kids in Africa might get harmed because we're not spending gazillions. What about the media? We still got to pay the media too in this injunction, because now the Politico and New York Times and all these other networks of news are getting paid. We got to keep paying them too. Wow. Yeah, it's... Where did Ashley find the clip of the guy crying? She found it on X. It's so crazy. Lots of weeping and gnashing of Democrat teeth. And I'm being completely serious. I have a list of people I follow, and a lot of people just send me stuff. Have you seen this? Have you seen? I'm like, I can't, man. It's just too much. And if people in Africa don't get the money, babies might die. That one got me. You're one of the biggest advocates for disposing of babies in the country. But those babies, no, you don't want them. Okay. So you really hate America. That's what you're saying. You want things over there to go through full gestation, and you want people to be able to give birth and blah, blah, blah. But not here. Gotcha. Oh, man. This is people are getting ready to flee. They have to be getting ready to flee. Oh, and yep, you're right, Jeff. 35% will still vote for them. They're idiots, absolutely idiots. But you know what? Let's just do what we got to do and stomp these people into oblivion. Because and Kash Patel is not even in office yet. Pam Bondi's has had half a day in office. They have no idea what's coming. No one can stop what's coming. So tonight I'll go over a bunch more stuff, because I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch more I can talk about. If you'd like to join us over on X, go to fanfareshop.org/group, and you'll see 14,000 plus fellow patriots moving quickly towards 15,000. And I have to tell you, it is a free group. Don't let anybody tell you you have to pay. It is a free group, but you do have to actually go here. That'll give you the link so you can get there and get to the right place. You have to go to fanfareshop.org/group, and it will forward you there automatically. You don't have to worry about being in the wrong spot or any of that. Tonight I'm going to give out some hoodies. So if you'd like to enter to win hoodies, go to fanfareshop.org, and go ahead and enter to win. Now, it's important for you to understand, because we've actually had this. People are like, I won last night, and my hoodie's not here yet. Hold on, we don't got drones flying around the country with hoodies. Ashley goes through, she pulls down the list for the week on Sunday, and then on Monday, she looks to fulfill the things that have come in. So she's busy. She's out getting sponsors, and she's booking guests to come on and do, all kinds of different things on this show. We got a great guest tomorrow, amazing guest tomorrow, Mark Mitchell from Rasmussen Reports, who's got all kinds of data, and he's one of the people out there data mining and pulling up information. That's what's going on with all of this Doge stuff. It's crazy. And one last thing I want to say. A lot of people have wondered, what happened with Vivek? Why did Vivek get away from Doge? What I'm seeing, I don't know. But what I'm going to tell you is they were very fine talking to each other when we did Elon's midnight show. And I'm thinking, we know he's going to be running for governor of Ohio. I'm thinking they knew what was coming. Hey, Vivek, we're about to open a can of worms. You may not want to be associated with this, because if you're associated with this, people might get pissed, they're going to attack you, and it could hurt your run for governor of Ohio. And they started looking already, I'm sure they had a bunch of data, and they're like, they're going to come for you. and they're going to get a bunch of nuts in Ohio to come for you. So if you want to run for governor, you might want to back off of this because it's about to get dirty. I can handle it. Everybody involved can handle it. But if you're looking for future office, you might want to back. That's my theory. My theory is I'm going to run for governor, and I don't want nothing. I don't want none of this stank all over me, because you can see what these nuts are doing. You can see how they're reacting. That's my idea. So at that point, he's like, I'm going to be governor, and I can do some stuff in there and help you. But right now, I should probably stay a little bit clear of this hornet's nest. But let me know if you need anything, because I'd love to help you in the background. I can't wait till like there be an Ohio debate, and they're like, were you involved with Doge when they were doing all this stuff? I mean, it's coming. It's going to be a Doge smear on Vivek when he runs for governor over there. All right, so it's crazy day. Again, I apologize for this morning. It's crazy, but it happened. Grits Girl saw that Vindman guy's son out there with the Democrats, yet we find that his daddy got paid a boatload of cash to testify at the first impeachment. Yep. All will be revealed. Robert Plant said that. San Domingo, thanks, Barry. I wouldn't see these lunatics without your clips. Laughing my butt off. It's horrible. And again, I apologize for a couple of those that had saucy language, but I didn't have time to jump in and edit like I usually do. See, that's what takes me so long. A lot of people, show you a link or a video or something. Number one, the sound sucks on some of these people is when they just put up the link, and number two, they don't edit. They got to edit that stuff out. So I apologize. Guy Catalano, thank you very much. Sandra J.G. Thompson, I was blocked. They can scream, but we can't. The Willows offends, but for them to say come after us, it's okay. Yep. Yeah, I mean, YouTube probably doesn't have a problem with her saying GD. What do y'all want? No, I don't want to play, and I don't want to cover you anymore. Can y'all see that? That's the Miami Dolphins calling me. And they want me to renew a suite, but that ain't going to happen until y'all can win, unless you want to give it cheap. Beverly Litton, remember the worldly wide hatred of Trump during his first... Yep, it's coming again. Unfortunately for them, I think it'll fall on deaf ears. Jeremy Hughes, no taxation without representation. NJ Sound, no longer a Democrat. Somebody asked a question, what did those actors do for that money? Show up and influence idiots who like, oh, Angelina Jolie is in Ukraine, so it must be cool for me to, support that if you have that kind of mindset. Donna D, I need to get out of Blue Broward County. I'm surrounded by stupid that have been saying Elon is stealing their Social Security. So then it's working. You just said it's working. The stupid people are stealing my Social Security. Oh, gosh. Tell them to turn off CNN. Dave the Patriot. Barry, USAID is a CIA influence shell company distribution hub that has just been refunded. So when they scream about kids starving, what they mean is China. This is deep stuff. This is the kind of stuff people get disappeared for. Doc Mojo, the left truly hates America. All the DEI is meant is to kill Americans and drive us crazy. Lupe Murillo, they do want to incite violence. Benny Johnson with Mike Benz. Yeah, Mike Benz is, I'm telling you right now, Mike Benz might be, other than Elon, the best person to follow with all of this. He is, he has sunk his teeth into this, and he's coming out with so much stuff. Heath, thank you. I'm a firm supporter of Trump, and I understand he says a lot of things to negotiate. However, I hope he doesn't try to remove the Christians from Gaza who have fought to stay. Yeah, we'll see. Why would you want to stay in Gaza at this point? Connie Cole, only 17% is not a revolution, it's domestic terrorism. John Owens, we are winning big time. Yep, and they know this. That's the thing. They know it. Texas Mouse, all I can do is sit here and shake my head. What am I seeing? Demons, for real, demons. you know, watching some of this stuff will actually make you pray. I mean, it has to. I mean, you'll laugh, and we'll laugh, and then we're like, these are people that people elected. Arizona guy 1, I trust Trump. I agree that he knows what he's doing and what is best for America. Absolutely. Cynthia Russell, people need to read the book of Revelation and get their heart right with God. It will only get worse. I agree. I completely agree. Michael King, where is the money in their master Swiss bank account? These people are toast. Because just imagine Elon has allowed certain information to come out. Trump is coordinating with Elon, and they've agreed, let's release this. Just imagine what they haven't released yet. That they had to wait till Pam Bondi got confirmed. That they may need to wait until, you know, Kash Patel gets confirmed, so they have people who can dig. Rays, this is going to escalate out of control. Yeah, I believe so. But I'm glad they've got Pete Hegseth right there, and I'm glad they've got some real strong guys in place. I really hope Schumer gets named in all of this. Yeah, he could. He very well could. It's crazy. Captain Danny, thank you. Dems are at war. I'm at Walmart buying popcorn. Oh, gosh. Sherry Martin, they're yelling because they have pocketed the money. They're probably yelling also because none of them can probably withstand the type of investigation that they put Trump through. They're done. Now you know why they were worried about Trump's going to go after his political opponents. No, he's going to go after people who stole money. Because I'm sure there's lots of evidence. Demon of Cybertron, they are at war. I'm eating popcorn watching it as well. Cliff Leibowitz, this is why the Clintons are always smiling. Man, this is going to get really crazy. Is it possible to prosecute, convict, and send these people to El Salvador jails or some faraway island in the middle of nowhere? We may see some crazy stuff. We may actually start hearing the word treason. Who knows? Laura, I'm concerned the opposition will start bombing the new construction. Are you talking about over in Gaza? Yeah, going to have to secure it, that's for sure. Planet Hermit, heads on a swivel, everyone. They're starting to crash out. That's what I've been saying. Heads on a swivel. They're going to lose it. Useful idiot, as far as I'm concerned, any congressperson or senator should be expelled for protesting. I agree. I completely agree with you. If you're out there doing this stuff, you shouldn't be there. Beverly Litton, living off the hard labor of others. NJ Sound, drain the swamp. And Sean, NJ Sound again, Sean is the swamp. Thank you. Edward Hartman, Barry, I was going to go to the gym and work out for an hour, but I'm so upset and just want to keep finding out more and more insane criminal activity. Now just go to the gym, and as you're at the gym, start thinking about you working, going to work every single day, and people taking your money and doing what they want to do with it. And you're going to pump some iron tonight. Just think about that. Ed Marino, the truth is being exposed. What an amazing time. I have a thirst for it. I can't look away at this point. It's too much. Jeremiah Kerr, there was always what would Jesus do? Now there's what did Mitch McConnell do? Oh, goodness. American Patriot, thank you. For someone like me who swore to the Constitution, this is big-time treason on foreign and domestic. Domestic gets overlooked. I hope this wakes more people up. I bet there are a lot of people like you who have fought and sweat and saw buddies and everything else that have had to go through things, and now you're seeing how we were sold out. What's this say? Yeah. Useful idiot. That list is supposed to be coming out any time now. Pam Bondi has said she will be releasing that list. So imagine all this stuff. And then on top of that, in the next day or so, if she decides to drop that list. Wow. Circa 1765, no taxation without representation, born on a fourth. GD Biddy, detox tea to the Dems for the party. If Trump is going to keep up this pace, which everyone says he is, I don't know how. Police 45, Trump is pulling off the sheets to see where they, where they rest. Man, I don't know. The media is going to be crazy. Yeah, SB caught that guy received money from Usaid in 2023, yet, yeah, he was gonzo. So where'd that money go? Jim Wright, I have words for the drag queen video funding and all the other ways trying to hold them accountable. Life sentences, no parole, hard labor. I love when they say they're stealing your money when I never thought, approved, or heard that you were going to do this with our money. But now you want to blame Elon. Stephen Sturgill, Elon and Trump need to look into senators and congressmen's bank accounts. They don't have the legal authority, but Pam Bondi will. Fume drummer, USAID equals American are taxed too much. It's not exactly changed from the couch cushions. Absolutely. You know, somebody earlier said taxes, God says you have to pay taxes. True. God doesn't say how much taxes you're supposed to pay. I mean, and if the people you're entrusting are not being good stewards, that's something else too. Captain Danny Barrow, panic in D.C. I'm living pure widespread panic going on right now. Jeremiah Kerr, if we end up having to finance the rebuild in Gaza, no, I don't think so. He said no money. I don't think they would have to spend a dime. I have an idea on how he'd put it together, but there would be a lot of money flowing in there if they could secure it and make it so that it could be a very nice resort place and keep the nuts out. I don't know how you keep the nuts out, but that's something. Peter Cully, thank you, Barry. You and the crew are awesome. Thank you, and thank you for coming back. I apologize for this earlier today. Stephen Sturgill, Demo rats jumping and screaming because there's no money going into their bank accounts now. I don't know how some of these companies. Let's watch what happens with Politico. Let's see if Politico ends up going down in the next week or so. Patty Siebold, I doubt 70 cents went to. Yeah, I wonder where it really went. 70 billion. Yvonne Berger, everyone should file tax extensions. SB found that. SB said 40 million for that. I hate not being able to say the words. But yeah, it is what it is right now. People are like, I'm looking at some of your comments from earlier. I am so pissed off. Beverly Litton, Hakeem's a communist. Yeah. Ed Sloan, since we were talking about women today, who's the guitarist in your opening? She is amazing. Thanks for all you do, Barry. I am going to have her, I want her, see what happens, she didn't know people would be interested, and so I want to let her know, hey, as soon as I let people know how to contact you, you're going to get a whole bunch of people contacting you, so I just want to make sure she's ready for that. Ken Romolino, I got laid off at USAID today. I was in charge of making the Taliban Transformers. It was really starting to make headway too. Oh, you're killing me. You kill me with the jokes here. It's too funny. Oh, that's so funny. And Marino, Transformers just get to compete against each other. Yeah, with your money. This is getting nuts. Brad Crane, unlike Biden, he didn't sniff anyone talking about Trump at that event with the little kids. G-Mark, the grandfather we never had, so healing. That was so nice watching him, talk to those kids. And he was smart to just tell the Secret Service, back off, man. These are kids. I gotta be safe here. Few drummer, Trump adding a ballroom to the White House is called Legacy Building. Next up, Mount Rushmore. Oh, they'll fight him for that too. And Marino, I so admire and respect my president. Beautiful. Yeah, he's doing some good things. Linda H. President Trump knows how to work a room, go through it without calling out one dead person's name. Oh gosh, that was funny. You're talking about Biden not being able to talk to people. Maria Daniel, yes, thank you. You are my favorite channel. Thank you very much for watching. Ed Marino again, these records should be canceled somehow. Oh, you're talking about the Transformers who took the girls' records. Yeah, they should be. Great comparison to 9/11 rebuilding. You sold me on New Gaza. No, it's my Gaza. This is why I love this channel. Barry helps dumb grunts like me understand. Oh, you're not dumb. I just have a perspective. Sometimes I talk too much. Barry, sounds like you need a real estate training channel. I'd sign up. Been there, done that, got the t-shirts. If people think it's easy and then they see what it's like and like, this is really hard. Patty Siebel, insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome. Albert Einstein. Shauna Hathaway, remember when someone asked what you'd have to cover after the rallies? Yep. Barry, what are you going to do now that he's been elected? There's nothing left. Oh yeah, I remember that conversation. Kathleen Gray, how much has Fox been paid? I'm waiting. I'm sure they're waiting. I'm sure they're like, oh no, it's coming in. Oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. Bruley, Barry, you need a seat at the media White House. Yeah, media seat at the White House. She better call me. Better get the email. Here's a little help in case you need a new modem or take Robin out for Valentine's Day. Thank you. Thank you very, very much, Les V55. I called the internet company. I'm like, hey man, there's something wrong. And so they're sending somebody over because I had a backup. Luckily, I just had to wire it. Thank you, Catherine Best. God is with you, Barry. Thank you for all you do. Robin and Ashley, you do for all of us. We appreciate you. And please don't forget the mods. They do such a over and above. Understand, I want to talk about the mods for a second. As much as I don't know when a show is going to be a show because of what Caroline Leavitt will do or what Trump will do if he just shows up and wants to go on camera, they're the same way. They jump in. So it's very hard to put a schedule. I mean, like if I looked right now at his schedule tomorrow, it's probably not up yet. Let me see if he's put anything for tonight on here. Looking at his schedule tonight, 4 o'clock was the last thing. That doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean anything. Who knows? He may jump right back in here. Gray Man, if the government can audit the citizens should be able to audit the government, hence Doge. Absolutely. It's amazing how simple a concept that is. Rhonda, happy to see you back up and running. Went to the X account to find out what happened. Just a little something help with your new router. Thank you very, very much. Jen E., you bring such joy, happiness, and honesty to so many. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. You should have saw me at about 1:30 when I was ready to scream and pulling stuff off the walls and everything else. Carmen Flores, it was awesome seeing the children run to surround the president. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's crazy. Loved it. Bruley Music, has anyone compared the DNA of Chuck Schumer to Man Cheese Lady. So Barry, your thoughts on impeachment proceedings that the Dems are threatening? Oh, that's complete BS. You're wasting the paper you're writing it on. Lulac Martinez, the deep state or the demon state, or is it one in the same at this point? Police 45, 50 million is not for baby removal, but to remove life. That's a sad. Oh, I gotta show you this one. The gal says, Barry, love your channel, but please stop the crying baby. That makes me want to slap my mama. I don't want you to slap your mama. Oh, it's just a joke. Santa Domingue, thanks, Barry. I wouldn't see these lunatics without your clap. Yeah, laughing my butt off. All right, so I covered everybody. I thank you for giving me the second chance and showing back up here and sitting through this. I'm going to go grab something to eat and then walk the dog and get back here. Let's call it 8:30. Give me 2.5 hours so I can go ahead and get something to eat and get ready and compile a bunch of stuff for you guys, and then we'll give out some hoodies tonight as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats, and thank you for letting me overcome what happened this afternoon. Talk to you in 2.5 hours.